The blue trucks from Essential Pest Control, Doctor. They leave bugs belly up.
I use one of those national companies.
Thanks, Doc. Those guys don't scare me.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Buy local and stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. That's 866-3029. Or visit essentialpest.com.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol, where Tucson's best just got better. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards that take your experience to the next level. More thrills, more perks, more of what makes Casino del Sol unforgettable. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun, an enterprise of the Pasquayaki tribe.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Tucson is sizzling in June, but your house doesn't have to. Most HVAC companies talk about trust. Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing puts it in writing. Every repair backed by a 5-year warranty for our Home Wellness Club members. That's not a promise, that's a guarantee. Call us at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Burries, the Arizona rebound. They'll lead the Wildcats on the run the other way. Burries crossover, drives, step through the lane, put it up, roll it in, and he is fouled. Oh, Brayden Burries using every inch of strength to get that one over the rim, and he'll go to the line. Kochikov gets it back, lane on the floor, handed back out to Pete. Shot clock at 3. Burries sees it, shoots a 3, scores a 3 straight away for Brayden Burries, his 4th. Jackson handed off Alvarez, out top, stolen away by Burries, drives the other way, slam it home.
Just baited him into throwing that pass. Burries didn't even have to sprint to intercept it. He just knew where it was going to be.
To Bradley the other way. Bradley, a little shake and bake. Throw it out to Burries, passed up the 3, down the lane to the bucket and slam it home.
That three-point threat drew the defender to him in just a sweep of the ball through to the right-hand hammer.
It is NBA draft night in America. Brayden Burries expected to be the latest Arizona Wildcat to be taken near the top of the first round since Larry Demick way back in 1979 was the 9th pick in the first round by the New York Knicks. Arizona has been a fixture in the first round. Leon Wood in 1984. Sean Elliott in 1989. Brian Williams in 1991. Chris Mills in 1993. Khalid Reeves in 1994. Damon Stoudemire in 1995, Mike Bibby in 1998, Michael Dickerson in 1998, Jason Terry in 1999, Richard Jefferson in 2001, Andre Iguodala in 2004, Channing Frye in 2005, Jared Bayless in 2008, Jordan Hill, beginning my time here in Tucson covering the University of Arizona. In 2009, Derek Williams at number 2 overall in the first round. In 2011, two years actually later, Solomon Hill. In 2013, Aaron Gordon in the 4 spot. In 2014, Stanley Johnson. In 2015, Rondé Hollis Jefferson. In 2015, Lauri Markkanen at number 7. In 2017, the highest ever, number 1 overall. In 2018, DeAndre Ayton. In 2020, Josh Green, Zeke Naji in 2020, Benedict Matherin. In 2022, Dalen Terry also in 2022. Shocking that it has been 4 years since a Wildcat was taken in the first round of the NBA draft. That will end tonight with likely 2 Brayden Burries and potentially Koa Pete, who is projected at the bottom half of the first round, but could also maybe fall into the second round. NBA dreams will be made tonight. Jaden Bradley, Tobe Awaka, and potentially more to be taken off the board in the first 2 rounds of the NBA draft to begin their professional careers. So we will wait to find out who grabs the Wildcats this evening. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Your thoughts on what you think might happen tonight for your Arizona Wildcats. I mean, this will be likely, if you get 2 in the first round, really the first 2 for Tommy Lloyd. He did coach Benedict Matherin and Dalen Terry, but he did not recruit those 2 players here, although there were those that will say, well, he re-recruited them to stay after Sean Miller left. But really, this, I think, is the beginning of Tommy Lloyd's legacy as it relates to getting guys to the National Basketball Association with 2 expected first-round picks, true freshman first-round picks in Brayden Burries and Koa Pete. Guys, a lot joined by the full crew today. We got JW Madden. We've got Dragon Ball David Amata. Guys, a lot of excitement, as always, for the NBA draft because basketball is, Tucson is a basketball town. And so this is a night we always look forward to see where our Wildcats are going to end up.
Well, you go ahead and get started with just the fact that, again, it's been a minute since a U of A player was in that top half of the draft, going in the lottery and things of that nature. It's going to be fun to see where Brayden Burries lands, especially with all the movement that is projected and already has happened in relation to the NBA. And, again, we could go into the whole Giannis Antetokounmpo trade, and there's potential works for the Jaylen Brown being on the market. But Brayden's going to find himself in a spot for a team that could be either looking to try and build around somebody or adding a piece to what they think is already a pretty well-established foundation to build in the future. It'll be interesting to see where he goes. As for Koa Pete, I'm interested to see where he goes. There's a lot to his game where I think you definitely have a high upside. There's a lot of his game that's probably still needs to be improved in regards to his jump shot making and things of that nature, his ability to play outside directly under the basket. So I'm waiting to see where Koa kind of has been evaluated by GMs around the league. But it's going to be fun to see where those 2 go. And, of course, I'd love to see Tobe Awaka and Jaden Bradley both find themselves some homes in the NBA as well. They did a lot of great things here at the U of A, and it'll be very nice to go and see those 2 rewarded. And, again, I think of those 2 guys, I think Tobe's probably going to be the one that would be the most likely to get picked up because rebounding, we've seen it just in these playoffs this past year. Rebounding's at a premium. You need great rebounders. And if there's one thing Tobe Awaka can do is he can go ahead and beat some guys down low to get some rebounds there when your team needs to go ahead and pick one up.
520-848-1290, JW Madden, your thoughts?
Yeah, the problem with that is you have to be able to move your feet in the modern NBA to guard players in the perimeter. So we all know what Toby can do under the basket. The question is, can he stay? Because the guys who are 260 who can't move their feet when a Trae Young gets in front of them on a switch don't get playing time. So hitting that 15 to 20 foot jump shot and also, showing consistently that he can move his feet, which he did last year at the U of A. He wasn't asked to do that much in his sophomore and junior years, but last year he was out on the perimeter a lot because obviously Mo Krivas wasn't injured and was in the game. So there's a lot of bigs in there. But Jaden Bradley will definitely there's 0 chance Jaden Bradley does not get drafted. Tobe is a little bit of a question mark because that's just a really need position in the draft. When you're talking about anywhere from 40 to 60, it's best player available and what you need on your roster. And the truth of it, guys, is I don't think the casual fan even knows anything about the CBA that the NBA is under right now. But the way it works is you can't keep talent past 5 years. You cannot keep a roster. Oklahoma City is about to be imploded because everybody on that roster is 26 years or under. They're about to get in their second contracts. You can't have 2 or 3 max guys on your roster. You don't get anybody to fill in the gaps. So that's the situation right now. I mean, Mitchell Robinson's not going to stay with the Knicks next year, guys. The only reason the Knicks won the championship is because Mitchell Robinson guarded Wemby really well. So the modern NBA is draft well and get those guys onboarded so that by the time they're second, third, and fourth year players, I'm not talking the lottery guys. Those are your cornerstone of your franchise. I'm talking about the Jaden Bradley, Tobe Awaka type guys who are going to get drafted 40 and beyond, 35 and beyond in the NBA draft. It's really just a matter of fit, where they get, the needs involved, and whether or not there's some really high price tag veterans at that same position. You're talking about guys in their mid-30s who are already on their fourth contracts, 25 plus $1 million per year adds up really quick when those guys are falling off towards the back end of their careers. But there's no doubt those 4 guys likely will be drafted tonight. I know Anthony Del Orso has also had 14 meetings with NBA teams over the course of this process. So even if he doesn't get drafted, he's going to get an invite. The second the NBA draft ends, Anthony Del Orso will get an invite to a summer league. That's how that works, just like TJ McConnell was offered the second the draft ended there. But really excited to see where Brayden Burries lands, first and foremost, because, I mean, with his talent and skill set, remember, he's a little bit older for a freshman. He could step in right now. So if you're talking about a franchise that doesn't necessarily have depth at the guard spot or wing positions, Brayden Burries can step in right now today and help out. And then we all know Koa Pete's strengths and weaknesses. If Koa Pete gets put on a team that already has, a couple of bigs who can step outside and spread that court, and he can do work from 18 feet in right now today, he could be super effective. Over the course of the next 5-6 years, he just needs to continue to work on the consistency from his 15 to 25-foot jump shot. And I think once that happens, Koa's handles is one of the things people don't really talk about, which they should. But for a 6'9" guy, 6'8", 245, Koa's got some really, really good handles. So there's no doubt in my mind Koa Pete will be a very good NBA player. Brayden Burries could potentially be an NBA star. And Jaden Bradley and Tobe Awaka have spots on rosters. It just depends on where they go. Will dictate how effective they can be and what roles they need to fill in on those for those franchises that are lucky enough to get them.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We'll take your thoughts today on the Wildcats in perspective. They could hear their names called over the next 2 nights to be selected into the National Basketball Association. Your memories of these young men, Koa Pete, Brayden Burries, if you had a chance to meet any of them, Tobe Awaka, Anthony Del Orso, Jaden Bradley. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Obviously, 2 nights. Round 1 is tonight. It'll be commenced at 5 o'clock, both nights, 5 o'clock tonight, Tucson time, 5 o'clock tomorrow night, Tucson time as well. First round tonight, second round tomorrow. The order goes again. Washington, we talked a little bit about them yesterday. They are once again at the top of the draft board. So Washington has been perennially at the top of the draft board over the course of the last few years. J-Dub, we talked a little bit kind of jokingly as we kicked off year 4 about the deal that Trae Young got to return to Washington. Not a lot of people think that's a very good deal.
No. Well, I mean, retaining him and getting him to commit to the Wizards, because Dragon Ball talked about it last week. He was wishy-washy as to whether or not he was even going to return and sign with them. But the second that the ink dried on that contract, all I heard people was saying is that 60% of it is a good contract. That $90 million tacked on is really the biggest problem, because what did I just say? The CBA today, you cannot go over the second apron of the CBA multiple years in a row. You lose draft picks. You lose the ability to sign free agents. It's a death nail for your franchise. You cannot go over the second apron multiple years in a row. Minnesota just traded their second best player, guys, because of the apron, because of the CBA. Not because they don't think Julius Randle is good for what they're trying to do, but simply because of the way money works in the modern NBA. And why is that? Because Kevin Durant went to the Golden State Warriors, and they had to change it. You couldn't have these super teams like that anymore. So the modern CBA is such that those high-end guys and the Wizards, I mean, it might look okay on paper right now, DK, and it might look okay next year. But with that 18% pay bump year after year after year, by the time it gets to the 4th and 5th years, the Wizards are not going to have any space to have anybody else but Trae Young and a couple of bench guys on that roster, and that's the problem. And if Anthony Davis can stay healthy, with the number 1 pick and Anthony Davis and Trae Young, if that is the lineup, guys, I mean, that could be an actual team that competes, for a playoff spot in the East. But we kind of said the same thing about, this last draft in Cooper Flagg, and he went into a situation with Anthony Davis, but a certain guy by the name of Kyrie Irving was out for the entire season. So you need that good mix of vets in the modern era of the NBA, just like the Knicks did it, just like the Spurs are doing it, and OKC did it. You need to draft really well and bring those guys along. So within the first 5 years, their contract in the NBA, they're contributors, because those, 15-year vets, the DeMar DeRozans of the world, are kind of falling by the wayside. He might even get cut today.
Yep.
Rumor has it.
There's a good chance. And then you also mentioned not just the contract issue, but there's also the problem of what the Wizards are looking to have as their quote-unquote core going into this season at least. Usually these teams that are going to be competitive and they're going to be competing for a championship, their age groups are all pretty contained. You look at the Spurs this past season when their trip to the finals, you get Wemby, you get Derek Harper, you get Stephon Castle. All these guys are within that same age range of about 19 to 22, 23 years old. For the Knicks, all their guys are around the same age because they were all basically in college together or in college around the same time. The big issue with the Wizards, Anthony Davis is 33, Trae Young is 27, and whoever they draft at number 1 overall today, whether it be Peterson, DeBonsa, what have you, they'll be 19 to 20 years old. You're looking at 7-year gaps between, quote-unquote, your big 3 for this roster, and that contract for Trae Young's only going to get worse because of the money, because of the age, and how no one really is going to be lined up for a actual all-in push all at the same time with the age differences. So that's going to be another big issue for them when they're looking at potentially building a roster around whoever it is they may take at the number 1 overall
The biggest
pick.
problem, DK, is not the Trae Young contract, although it's not a good contract. The biggest problem is that Anthony Davis makes $59 million next season.
At 33 years old, for a guy who hasn't completed, I believe it was last time I saw, he hasn't completed a 70-game regular season going back to, I think, his first year with the Lakers. So it's been a minute for Anthony Davis to be on the court, let alone a 33-year-old Anthony Davis to be on the court here.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Yeah, he played 76 games that first year with the Lakers. He has not played more than 51 in any year since then. That was 2024.
Next year's cap, by the way, is projected to be 165.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a third, just over a third of your entire contracts for your roster, for your 16-man roster, is from one player. And if you have 2 max guys, why is Klay Thompson not with the Warriors anymore? It's all the same reason. Like, you're going to start to see a lot of these teams start to lose some really, really important pieces. Mitchell Robinson, key to that Knicks team winning the title next year. Their owner, Dolan, probably won't bring him back next year.
Yeah, he came out and said we're not going over into the second apron. Whether he was, saying that or whether it's truth, I tend to believe that that's the truth from James Dolan, because he usually doesn't. He usually speaks his mind in terms of the money involved to put together his team. So we'll see how that all plays out for the defending champs. All right, DK on the Sports Tip, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We want to hear from you. We'll have much more coming up for you. We'll hear from Brayden Burries. We'll hear from Tommy Lloyd on the players that he's got inside of this draft process today. Koa Pete, Toby Awaka, Jaden Bradley. You'll hear from all of them. We'll get you set for tonight's Diamondbacks game, which is coming up a little early because they're in the Central Time Zone over in St. Louis. Game 2 of a 3-game series against the Cardinals. Unfortunately, the Snakes fell last night and have now lost 3 games in a row. Cricket is here, as she always is, getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Some slowing on Miracle Mile at Flowing Wells. Little busy for traffic on Speedway on the east side of I-10. Grant Road is closed between the westbound I-10 frontage road and Flowing Wells through the beginning of August. An extreme heat warning until 8 p.m. on Thursday. 81 the low, 107 tomorrow, and 106 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Staples Easy Deal Days are here. Right now, you can score up to 50% off more than 1,000 products in-store and online. Don't miss your chance to save on tech, chairs, custom print, school supplies, and more. It all ends July 4th. Staples, that was easy.
The Cup is coming home.
Firing, caught, touchdown Arizona. Brayden Burries picks it off, takes it right away. The Cats win the Cup. They win their 9th game of the season, and they do it emphatically.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000. Use code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. Trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Portugal was trading at 12% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $800 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know where they're at today? Check Kalshi. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. That's promo code PITCH. Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prizes, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Oh my gosh, Ted, why are you digging up the yard?
I'm looking for that stupid pipe. The bathroom drain is still clogged.
Shouldn't we call Goodfellas AC and Plumbing? You know, the professionals?
I found the pipe.
Whatever clogs your drains, leave it to the professionals at Goodfellas AC and Plumbing. The choice your family can count on for quick, reliable plumbing service using Permaliner to fix pipes and drains without digging up the yard. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. J-Dub throwing out questions of the day during the break. 7 teams, J-Dub, have never had a first or never picked number 1 overall.
6, yeah.
Yeah, six teams have never had a number 1 overall pick in the first round. I'm gonna guess, because we didn't guess on this yet. I'm gonna guess one of them is the Lakers.
No, they got Magic number 1 overall.
Was he number 1?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. I was wrong.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember which number ones they've had. Like, yeah, but they're not on the list.
Okay.
But they haven't had, I mean, again, the teams that are successful year in, decade in, and like those are the teams that never fall off. The Lakers haven't found themselves in the lot. They haven't found themselves waiting for a ping pong ball very often in my lifetime.
I think
so the
highest
Celtics would be on that list?
Celtics will not be on that list because Larry Bird was also a number 1 overall pick the draft before Magic.
Did you know how that went down? Because I know you're a little younger, but back in those days, you had junior eligibility, which meant that you could be drafted and go back to college. So Larry Bird was drafted by the Celtics, went back to school, played another year at Indiana State, and then joined the Celtics. So it was really weird back then. You got drafted, but retained your college eligibility. Just that late 70s, because they ended that right around the early 80s.
Yeah. All right, so I'm 0 for. I've got 2 strikes. I get one more swing here at the plate to get one of these 6 teams. I've already taken 2. Okay, so I guess I'm going to say the Knicks then.
No, they got Patrick Ewing.
The Knicks have had the number 1 pick. So
strike 3, DK, you are out.
So yeah, there's a few teams have only had 1. The Lakers have had, so Elgin Baylor, Magic Johnson, and James Worthy, all 3 of them were number 1 overall picks. I'm trying to find the Celtics.
I know the Celtics, they have Larry. They have, I believe, Len Bias was the number 1 overall
I think Len Bias
too.
was the number 1 pick, for sure.
That's true, yep.
No, it says here just 1. Charlie Scher in 1950 was the number 1 pick for the Celtics. Len Bias, I think, might have been second or third.
Okay.
Anyway, the Indiana Pacers famously are the team everybody talks about as being a team. I'd heard the Pacers have never had a number 1 draft pick. Obviously, this year that came into conversation more than ever because with the big trade they made to send Benedict Mathurin to the Clippers, they got a contingent, I think it was the number 5, had the Clippers fallen out and had the ping pong balls fallen their way, the Pacers would have had that pick. As an end result of that trade, DK, the Pacers have 0 draft picks this year.
Ouch.
So the 6 teams are Denver Nuggets, Indiana Pacers, the Memphis Grizzlies. That's like 93 or 94 when they came in. Yeah. So they haven't been around too long. Miami Heat, same. That's an expansion franchise. Oklahoma City.
Okay, I was going to say Oklahoma in my head was probably going to be 1 because they technically got the first pick as the Sonics.
Yeah.
And they got Russell Westbrook, I think, was like in the back half of the top 10.
Yeah, no, Russ was a backup point guard at UCLA, so he wasn't a highly thought of guy at the time. But, OKC. And I don't know that includes Seattle because I'm almost positive at some point Seattle, they're not on this list either because they haven't been a franchise for so long. And the final is the Utah Jazz, guys. Jazz have never had a number 1 pick either. And there's a lot of teams that had 1. Like Toronto's had 1 number 1 overall. Phoenix, Dallas, Charlotte, Boston. They've all only had the 1 ever number 1 pick. But the fact that the Wizards are picking tonight, DK, this is their 7th number 1 overall pick, which will break a tie with your Cleveland Cavaliers. Austin Carr, Brad Daugherty. Oh, man, love me some Brad Daugherty. So good. LeBron James, Kyrie, obviously, Anthony Bennett. That could have gone better. And Andrew Wiggins.
The back-to-back Bennett Wiggins picks.
Bennett Wiggins. Back-to-back number 1s.
That was bad. And think about that. So you think about those 2 teams have had 12 number 1 picks overall.
Just between the 2
Between the 2 of them. And I'm just looking at this list, I would think the only Hall of Famer is LeBron James.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that any of these guys that the Bullets, Wizards have taken number 1. Packers, I guess whatever they were calling themselves back in the day.
Right.
None of these guys I don't think are Hall of Famers. I don't recognize any of these names that from the older era when they were picking the 1950s, Gene McClure and Frank Selvey and Walt Bellamy. I mean, if that's Bill Bellamy's dad, but yeah, Kwame Brown, that was a bust. John Wall obviously played pretty well in this league, but yeah, that's crazy to think of those 12 number one overalls that really only Kyrie maybe is a Hall of Famer, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's had a lot of injuries lately, but LeBron is the only surefire Hall of Famer in that.
You want to get depressed? Scroll down to the Spurs. Because guess what? Not all drafts are created equal. Andrew Wiggins, was the best player available, right? Like, there's a lot of grief after the fact that the Cleveland Cavs picked Anthony Bennett in 2013 because he was, I think, projected in the 7, 8, 9, 10 range before Cleveland picked him number one. But, guys, I mean, there weren't any obvious standout number one picks that year. So you can't really blame the Cavs. The Spurs, DK, 3 number one overall picks, David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
They've nailed it every single time they've had
They
it.
got lucky that they had the number one pick in those years. That's what I mean, is that, like, it just depends when you're bad affects when you're going to be good. So, like, we all know that. If you don't know the story, listeners, David Robinson was picked again. That was another deferred situation because he still had to finish out his Navy. He was in the Navy.
Right.
He still had to finish out 2 years there. So he got drafted, went to the Spurs, played with the young Sean Elliott. We all remember it. The biggest turnaround in NBA history was like a plus 23. They won 23 more games than they did the year before in David Robinson's first year. A couple years later, David Robinson get injured. He wasn't in there for about 3/4 of the season. The Spurs went from being a perennial 45, 50 win team throughout David Robinson's first 5 years. They fall way off when David Robinson get injured and looked into the number one overall pick with the ping pongs falling their way and got Tim Duncan, which led to 5 championships. So it just depends. Being bad at the right time leads to being good at the right time.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Brayden Burries expected to be the top Wildcat drafted tonight in the NBA draft. Let's hear a little bit from starting with Tommy Lloyd on the killer instinct that Brayden Burries brings to the floor.
Brayden's a winner, and he has ultimate confidence. And it's been a joy to coach him. I mean, he's a laid-back, kind of unassuming guy, but he has a killer in him, and that's a beautiful attribute. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a great human being off the court and being a killer on the court, and he definitely has that combination.
Quiet kid, but as we saw all this past season, a quiet kid that can put a dagger in your heart when he so needs to. Impressed a lot of the coaches that the Wildcats faced on the floor this season, including Purdue's Matt Painter.
Brayden Burries is just a killer. He's one of those guys you're shocked when he misses. He's got that extra gear. It really, really helps him who he's playing alongside in Jalen Bradley, because he's so good and he's so fast and he can break you down and get in the paint, get to his pull-up. But no, he's got range to 25 feet. He's a special player.
Where he'll go will remain to be seen. Expected to be a lottery pick, obviously, is Brayden Burries. He worked out last week for the Golden State Warriors. That was the only place we really got a chance to hear him talk after his workout. But Brayden has always had some sage advice for young people who want to play this game of basketball at a high level.
Keeping a small circle, having good people around you. I really believe that you are who you hang around. And, my parents do a great job surrounding me with great people around me. And then, just, going through hard times, just trusting that I'll get better, praying a lot. And then, honestly, just never get too high, never get too low, and just be where my feet is.
There you go. We'll kind of see how it transpires. Burries declined to work out with several teams that have picks in the top 10. He did not work out for Sacramento. He did not work out. He did work out for Sacramento. There's also a large belief that Dallas could be that landing spot. Of course, we know who the new coach is now in Dallas, Dustin May, another coach who faced off against Brayden this year in the Final Four. So we'll see maybe if that ends up being the place where Brayden goes tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because we all know the names at the top, right? The DeBonsas and the Petersons of the world. But guys, between like 4 and 10 or 12 is a whole bunch of guards. And it really just depends on what you're looking for. Speed, quickness, shooting ability, facilitating. I think Brayden Burries checks a lot of those boxes. So there are some guys. It's really an upside thing at this point, Dragon Ball, because you're really drafting for, will this person be a game changer who can make big plays like Dylan Harper did in this year's NBA playoffs to get the team to the finals, can get a little bit over the hump? Because some of those teams picking, they're only 1 or 2 pieces away from making noise. Again, it's a different landscape. You can't hoard a bunch of max contracts in the NBA anymore. So a couple of good choices at the top of the draft, anywhere in the top 10, can be a player who can really make a difference for your franchise. And Brayden Burries clearly brings that poise. I think that thing that Coach Lloyd talks about there is my biggest takeaway from watching Brayden Burries all year long. When you've got a guy, DK, who doesn't shy away from the big moment, takes big shots, goes and is forceful trying to get to the rim, trying to set up teammates, not outside the scope of the offense, but just feeling when your team really needs you to be a little bit extra aggressive, but also doesn't change disposition throughout the entire game. If he misses 5 shots in a row, his face is the exact same when he makes 4 threes in a row. And that, to me, for a young player, goes so far in never getting too high or too low and being with your feet are all those cliches we hear these days. You can see it when you watch Brayden Burries on the court. He really lives that. That's who he is. He's not pretending. He just doesn't get too hyped or too low when things go right or wrong.
The Clippers have the number 5 pick tonight in the first round. They reportedly had a private workout with Brayden Burries. Tyronn Lue was obviously present for that. Washington, we mentioned, is the number 1 pick. Utah at number 2. Memphis has the 3rd pick, followed by Chicago. The Clippers at 5. Brooklyn at 6. Sacramento at 7. Atlanta 8. Dallas picks 9th. Milwaukee 10, followed by Golden State, Oklahoma City, Miami, Charlotte, and Chicago to round out the top 15. Memphis has another pick in the first round, so they have 2 picks in the first round. A team that does not have a pick in the first round is your Phoenix Suns. But some interesting news coming out in the last couple of hours of what their plans might be. We'll get into that straight ahead. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Colbin, Valencia, and Kolb Road with a hit-and-run wreck reported. Some slowing on Alvernon at Grant. Traffic at the intersection down to 1 lane. No left turns permitted. More slowing at Grant and Swan. An extreme heat warning in effect until 8 p.m. Thursday. 81 the overnight low and 107 tomorrow and 106 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Upgrade your cookout game this July 4th at Lowe's. Save $50 on a select Pit Boss DX Smart Electric Smoker, now just $249. Valid through 6/24 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Did you hear what we're talking about?
In full fabulous flow, Pepe down the left-hand side.
It wouldn't be the beautiful game without some full fabulous flow. Kristen Pulisic.
Gotta have it, man. Gotta have it.
DK on the Sports Tip, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m.
Brad Evans here to help you beat the books with Westwood One Sports. Make some money on a microwave oven. Darius Acuff is that dude. The Arkansas product would be an excellent fit for a Nets franchise in need of scoring power. The flashy point guard who averaged 23.5 points per game with the Razorbacks checks that box. I'm banking on Acuff to Brooklyn at plus 225. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting. Good evening, ma'am. We're the Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team, here for the overnight install of your new AC unit.
Great. Come in. We're so excited for a sleepover.
Oh, well, we're actually putting you and your family up in a hotel for the night. We work while you sleep.
Oh.
Okay, who's ready for a movie night? Popcorn or s'mores?
You know, that sounds pretty good.
No, it doesn't.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Providing overnight installs so you don't miss work or leisure time with your family. GoodfellasAC.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000. Use code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000. Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
Life's busy. Errands, kids, work, the I-10 grind. Who's got time to sit at a detail shop?
That's why Recon Auto Detailing comes to me. Mobile detailing keeps my car spotless without losing a minute of my day.
From mobile washes to in-shop ceramic coatings, tint, and paint protection, we're Tucson's one-stop shop for keeping your ride looking new. Convenience, care, confidence, that's Recon Auto Detailing. Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Well, the Bucks finally did it. Giannis Antetokounmpo is out of Milwaukee and is now a member of the Miami Heat. The Celtics were also involved in these talks, and you have to wonder how the relationship between the front office and Jaylen Brown will now be now that this deal fell through. I'm Adam Abdallah.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today, and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
The world's biggest
soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. Trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Portugal was trading at 12% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $800 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know where they're at today? Check Kalshi. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. That's promo code PITCH. Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The rim no good. A rebound. Ripped away by Pete. To Bradley. Arizona on the run. Bradley lost the handle. Got it back. Off to Pete. Down the lane. Slam it home for two. Timeout, Florida. Is this a pretty good debut for the freshman? Inbound Cats get it to Pete. Driving inside on Clough. Lay it up. Blocked by Clough. Grabbed back by Pete on a loose ball and lays it in.
Third time in the last couple of possessions, Pete's extra effort has given Arizona 3 field goals.
Wildcats with their biggest lead of the ball game. Pete comes out to set a screen. Bradley kick it back to Koa. Pete to the free throw line. Inside a Waka wide open. Slam it home.
What vision from Koa Pete.
Ball knocked away. Gets it back. Blocked by Pete. Off the glass. Koa gathers it in.
Big time play on the defensive end there by Koa Pete as he recovered there quickly to help out Mo Krivas with a big time block.
Fires a 3. Off the rim. No good. Aristo, the Arizona rebound. To Burries. Push it ahead. Pete on the run. Slam it home. Timeout, ASU. Big lead of the ball game for the Wildcats. Great look for Koa Pete. He'll slam it home.
Expected to be the other Arizona Wildcat player potentially drafted in the first round tonight. True freshman, spent 1 season with the Wildcats, averaged 14.6 rebounds, and of course had the signature start to his college career with the 30-point double-digit rebound game in the Wildcats season-opening win last year over the Florida Gators, the defending champion of Florida Gators. Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd on Koa Pete and his unique nickname.
They call him Mr. Arizona for something. I mean, guys, Koa, it's special. And I know you guys hear it, but you got to hear it again. 4 state championships at the same high school. Didn't go to a prep school. 4 gold medals with USA basketball. No one in FIBA history has ever done that. And helped lead Arizona to a Final Four. And that was my recruiting pitch. 4, 4, and 4. Let's do it.
So then why is everyone suddenly looking past this young man and what his potential might be if he is such a consistent winner?
Because of recency bias and because at the combine, he was the worst shooter among his group. So the big thing about Koa is always going to, the modern NBA, if you can't shoot, you can't play. It doesn't matter what position you are. Outside of guys like Mitchell Robinson, whose job it is to go in there for 20 minutes, get rebounds, and play defense on opposing centers. But for the most part, 90% of all players in modern NBA have to be able to shoot because defenses are very advanced and they clog the driving lanes areas. They're really good at blitzing, off-ball issues, bringing a second defender. So Koa's sliding and has slid past that, late lottery, maybe in the 12, 13, 14, 15 range. We saw that 2-3 months ago. Now you'll see his name mentioned more in like the 20s, and it's literally just that, DK. If he had consistently shot, 18, 20-footers last season at the U of A and had performed well at the draft combine in the shooting drills, there's no doubt that his intangibles are off the charts. I mean, 4 gold medals, 4 state championships. We know he's just a built winner. We know his physicality for his age. I mean, look at his genetics and his family and where he comes from. He's brought up the right way. So he checks so many boxes, DK, except for can he consistently shoot from the outside? And in the modern NBA, if you're 6'9", 240, and you're a really good facilitator, you're really good with the ball in your hands, but you cannot knock down an open shot Dragon Ball, they don't have a place for you out there because you're just going to have the defenders will slide off of you and extra defensive attention will go to your teammates because you don't need to be held accountable for that open space and being able to knock that shot down. So Koa just has to get in the gym, get a little bit of more arc to his shot, and he's going to be just fine. But he's sliding now because he can't step in tomorrow and be a floor spacer.
And while it may be recency bias about his combine workout, this is not recency bias for the position that most teams have kind of looked at Koa being at, which is the power forward spot. I would say that he's a little bit small for power forward in the modern NBA. You probably want to have a guy who's more of a 6'9", 6'10". Koa's more 6'8", but the jump shot has been the key thing. But going back to even the era we were just talking about, Tim Duncan, why was Tim Duncan so effective in saying that he was the greatest power forward of all time? Because not only could he beat you in the low block, he could hit the 16-foot jump shot between your eyes or in a wide-open shot consistently. The power forward...
You missed one part there. Bank in a 16-foot
bank
shot.
in, okay, yeah. I forgot. It's the bank shot. But... And that might be the other thing that Koa can work on, too, is that if he can get the bank shot to go in and he works on his arc, and the progression of the jump shot needs to be had. You look at a lot of power forwards that eventually had to add that to their game to make them more efficient and make them a more stable member of a lot of rotations throughout. I mean, LeBron James may be one of the greatest players of all time. When he started to work on his outside shot, when he stopped having to rely on just being a driver like he was in Cleveland, and he got that jump shot that he learned from Ray Allen, and he was able to get that deep three, that's when all of a sudden LeBron became an unstoppable force. You need a guy who can space out. It's okay to be a freak athlete, which Koa is, and that's why a lot of teams are still going to look at him, because there's one thing that they love is a big that is going to run the floor and get a lot of opportunities for a guy to hand the ball off down low, get a trailer, and get an easy bucket down low in the paint. You always want to see that from a big, because a lot of bigs don't want to run because there's a lot of weight that they have to carry up and down the court. But Koa is willing to do that. We saw it so many times that he would be on a fast break. So that's why Koa is still getting a lot of attention for the bottom of the first round. But the jump shot is the thing that would propel him to being a late lottery pick if he had it. But right now, this is a good – if he can get into that late 20s, I think that'll be probably the spot that we can start talking about. Here's a spot where Koa Pete could potentially wind up.
Shot 53% this past season for the Wildcats. Let's hear from Koa Pete on how much he enjoyed being a part of a Wildcat team that went to the Final Four.
I mean, this is the most fun I've had playing basketball, honestly. I love my teammates. Just seeing them eat, seeing them be successful, it just makes me happy, and then they find me as well. So, I mean, we went out there, played our game, played our Arizona brand of basketball, and, everything fell in place. And, I thought the whole team played really good today, and a lot of guys stepped up.
Lindsay Schnell, The Athletic Co. I just wanted to follow up when you said you're having more fun. Did you mean just in this game this is the most fun you've had, or this whole season?
Whole season, this is the most fun I've been having in my life, playing basketball, and I'm just happy, to do it with these special teammates and, special people off the court as well, and special coaches. I just love the whole Arizona program.
Koa Pete expected now, projected to potentially go somewhere near the bottom of the first round. Now, we mentioned in our last segment that one of the teams that does not have a pick in this first round is the Phoenix Suns. Well, NBA reporter Jake Fisher, not the Jake Fisher that was an outstanding football player at Ironwood Ridge High School, who went on to become a hell of a linebacker for the University of Arizona, but Jake Fisher from the Stein Report reporting today that the Phoenix Suns might be interested in trading back up into the first round with the purpose of potentially drafting the Wildcats' Koa Pete. The Suns do not have a pick until number 47, so they are even kind of in the middle of the second round of this draft. Again, that's the philosophy of one Matt Ishbia, trade all the picks. Picks are assets. So that's one of the reasons the Suns don't have any in the top half of this draft tonight. But if they could trade back, maybe that is a player that they potentially could be looking at. San Antonio at number 20, Atlanta at 23, the Knicks pick at 24, Denver's at 26. All of those could be potential trade partners if the Suns maybe are looking to get back in to the first round tonight and snag the hometown kid for their roster. Do you see a fit there? You guys see a fit with the Suns, with what they have now, what they're trying to build?
Well, Jordan Knott's trying to build a defense first, turning defense transition into easy buckets. I mean, that's his whole philosophy if you listen to him talk. And from that aspect of it, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, Koa is a very, very good on-ball defender and is only going to get better with time. it's just really a matter of the rest of the roster, Dragon Ball, and because we know about Gillespie, but there's a lot of question marks as to what they're going to do with that core group. And yeah, right now they just need a guy to come in. Dylan Brooks and D Book are going to get most of the shots on that team next year. Well, Dylan Brooks is going to take most of the shots from his teammates next year, and everybody's going to be looking for Devin Booker wearing the number 15 for the first time ever. Koa just brings so many intangibles. So I think ideally you want to see Koa go to a veteran group with a bunch of guys who've been there, done that, and know the ins and outs of how the rigors of an 82-game schedule, and be a good environment culturally for Koa to go into, because Koa brings the culture with him. I mean, he just listen to him talk. He's all about winning. He's all about doing things the right way. You're the Suns fan among us. There's been some fractures in that locker room recently in the last 4 or 5 years, infighting and people. So I think they've resolved a little bit of that.
Yeah,
I think Jordan
got rid of most of those players.
Yeah, I think most of those guys are not there, and I think they had a lot of cohesion last year. I think Koa fits into that locker room really well. The question is, what Jordan wants to use him for, and my guess would be as a perimeter defender and a guy who can switch out on guards and move his feet, because he's certainly athletic enough to do that.
Yeah, and I would certainly say that seeing Koa Pete in a Suns jersey would be beneficial for the long run of the roster. But the thing is that on the roster itself, it'd be great. I am concerned about the fact that Matt Ishbia is constantly saying that, well, the picks are assets. You know who else thought that? George Allen. George Allen was able to get the Washington Redskins to a Super Bowl one time, and that was it, because every player that he had was about, 32 or older. And once it got to the end of that stint, everyone was almost getting ready to report for retirement, not just from the NFL, but from being in the workforce in general. I think that right now, you look at the Suns, there's not a lot of youth on this roster in the first place. Kama Malawak is the youngest guy on that team that had a couple good sessions last season with the squad, but you're still banking on guys that are 27, 28, 29, and Devin Booker's no spring chicken either. I mean, we just got done seeing all the news about Giannis Antetokounmpo getting traded, so now there's no one left from that championship roster on that Bucks squad. Booker's the only guy left from that Suns team that made the finals as well. So it's not as if there's a lot of youth on this team. I'd like to see some youth on it. I don't know how many picks or what players they'd have to give up to move that high into the bottom half of the first round. So it's a little bit of those damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation.
Suns obviously made some recent moves to shore up their backcourt. They re-signed guard Colin Gillespie, 4 years, $48 million. They also inked up Jordan Goodwin, 3 years, $19 million. Got to see if they can keep the big man, Mark Williams, who is a restricted free agent heading into the next phase of the NBA summer, which will be free agency coming up here at the turn of the month.
Yeah, I mean, today and tomorrow is going to be great with the draft, but come free agent, all hell's going to break loose when the calendar turns to July, because there's a lot of big names, guys, who don't – we may not see Kawhi Leonard in a Clippers uniform anymore. Like, there's a lot – like, we just heard about the big Giannis trade, but there are a lot on the horizon.
Have we seen Kawhi Leonard in his Clippers uniform?
I have. I've been watching a lot because I watched Ben Mathurin. As soon as Ben got traded there, I watched Clippers games.
Yeah.
And I must have watched 4 or 5 of them, and Kawhi was healthy for all of them. The problem is he's not healthy for most of them.
Yeah, he's not healthy when it comes to the point where we're talking about like going into early June for the chances for the Clippers to be late in the postseason run.
All right, 520-848-1290, DK on the Sports Tip. We're going to get into more. That's hour number 1. Hour number 2, you heard the gentleman mention there was a big trade. One of the stars of the league is headed to a new city. We will dive into that. And last night, the Mercury did not win, but things got a little interesting at the end of the game last night between round 1. We'll categorize it as that. Round 1 between the Fever and the Mercury. We'll dive in to that as well. Dragon Ball's got everything happening in sports in Southern Arizona, as well as sports around This whole entire world.
Well, the NCAA Division I cabinet has unanimously approved the age-based eligibility rule known as 5-5 this morning. And while the rule cannot be officially adopted today, it will likely be adopted at the end of the meetings on Wednesday. Now, this rule officially eliminates red shirts, but allows all players to play 5 years as it is tied to their age or enrollment in college, which officially starts in the academic year the athlete turns 19 or when they enroll in college. Now, while the rule is currently not retroactive, meaning players who finish their senior years could not return, more than 50 basketball players from high school class of 2022 are currently filing lawsuits to seek inclusion to that new rule. And the Diamondbacks are stuck in a real bad slump after losing the series to the Twins over the weekend, and the start to their trip out in St. Louis did not get any better.
Broken bat. That's going to get down for a run-scoring hit. 3-0 Cardinals. That bat died a hero. Church 2 for 2.
Well, Merrill Kelly must be thinking to himself, when it rains, it pours.
And the loss makes it now 3 in a row for the Snakes. They sit now back at 500 on the season. They still got 3 games left to go against the Cardinals as the Diamondbacks look to bounce back today at 4:45 on the first pitch with Eduardo Rodriguez getting the start. The biggest news over the weekend was that the Bucks were looking to finally make the trade for stars Giannis Antetokounmpo for real, and they finally found their partner as they send the former MVP and Bobby Portis to the Miami Heat. In return, Miami will send Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., and Kasparis Yakunchis as well as 3 first-round picks, 1 pick swap, and a second-round pick. All goes out
What was that
to
name
Milwaukee. Kasparis Yakushonis.
It was lottery pick last year.
Yeah, lottery pick last
That's
season.
not the kid from Illinois, is it? No.
I believe it might have been,
Okay.
yes. But again, they all now find themselves in a new home in Milwaukee.
I'm gonna ask my Lithuanian contingent if you said that name right.
Yeah, I probably did not. I'll 100% eat that. But that's your 2020 Sports Update as we continue here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Headed for the corner, he's in. Touchdown, Arizona. On the break, slam it home. Here comes the throw home. He slides, he's safe. The Cats are champions.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. With collisions reported, Sandario and Rudisill and Sandario. Also working Colbin Valencia, a hit and run. Road work on 5th Street Country Club all the way to Wilmot. Use Broadway instead. Back up southbound Wilmot at 5th Street and southbound Swan at 5th. An extreme heat warning in effect until 8 p.m. Thursday, 81 the low, 107 tomorrow, and 106 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Never wait to see your family doctor again. At My Doctor Now, you don't need to take time off work or even schedule ahead. Open 7 days a week. It's your family doctor. Available same day, every day, guaranteed. Go to My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
We bring you all the news and stories of your Arizona Wildcats. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Wildcats Radio 1290 for the latest highlights and commentary. Your home for U of A athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime, from anywhere, through the MyQ app. Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is an authorized LiftMaster dealer. We have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power's out. Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Tucson is sizzling in June, but your house doesn't have to. Most HVAC companies talk about trust. Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing puts it in writing. Every repair backed by a 5-year warranty for our Home Wellness Club members. That's not a promise, that's a guarantee. Call us at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
For 250 years, America has been a bold experiment in freedom. Generation after generation, Americans have carried that freedom forward, running farther, climbing higher, standing stronger. From stadiums to neighborhood blacktops, from hometown fields to the world stage, the spirit stays the same. This year, America turns 250, and the next chapter of freedom is yours to write. All Americans can get involved in the celebration. Learn how at freedom250.org. That's freedom250.org.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. Trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Portugal was trading at 12% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $800 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know where they're at today? Check Kalshi. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. That's promo code PITCH. Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
The American Red Cross has an urgent need for blood donors to give. Donors are needed now to make sure patients across the country receive life-saving care. There's no time to wait. Make an appointment today to give blood by using the Blood Donor app, visiting redcrossblood.org, or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS to schedule your donation.
Nobody covers your cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Fires. Shot won't go. Tucker the rebound. And that'll do it. It's over. The Bucks have done it. The long wait has ended. After a half century, the Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions once again.
How's that make you feel, Dragon Ball?
Of course, that was the
Dragon
night
Ball's-
that they ended the
Dragon Ball's
dreams of all of us out here
sad
in the
boy.
desert.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing
You
about
could just leave that camera on me if you want, man.
That's the thing about the Suns, right? It's like the Suns have had some really close moments where, you know, whether or not it was that shot against the Celtics in the 70s, or obviously we all remember the Charles Barkley years, the Steve Nash years, and more recently that Booker, Chris Paul team. Yeah, they got close a few times.
They had a lot of really bad years to get to that one, too. So we thought, oh, it's finally over. All the misery, it's finally going to be redeemed or something. No, just a worse form of pain.
Tough to get that close, up 2-0 in the finals and lose it, and lose 4 in a row.
They got a good list of number one overall picks.
The Suns?
The Bucks.
Oh, the Bucks. Okay.
How about Kareem?
Kareem
69.
Yeah.
Kent Benson, he was okay. But Glenn Big Job Robinson, 94. Man, Glenn Robinson was a monster. And Andrew Bogut, the best Australian basketball player ever.
Yeah, and had it not been for injuries, probably would have had a lot better of an NBA career than most fans
People
remember.
don't remember how good Andrew Bogut was.
Yeah.
He was good. He was really good.
But the Lou Alcindor pick at number 1, that one also hurts the Suns because they lost that coin toss. And that was like, oh, if the Suns win, they can get Lou Alcindor out of UCLA. And all they heard was that the best part is about that story is that they didn't even do the coin toss in person. They did it over the phone. So there's no photo evidence about where that coin landed. So there is still a contingent. My dad is 100% on the belief that, I think they just said what the coin was and they just screwed the Suns.
Whoever they wanted to, they didn't want him going out to Phoenix. Probably nobody even knew where Phoenix was back in the
They didn't
early
know where Phoenix was back in the 70s. And you also had a chance to have him paired off with Oscar Robertson.
Well, that's the thing is like they had 3-time MVP Oscar Robinson on that team. Like, I don't think modern fans really understand. That's the equivalent of like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and their team not being very good that year and them getting Wemby.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the equivalent of Oscar Robinson having Kareem join him.
The original Mr. Triple-Double, and all of a sudden, I've got potentially the greatest center of all time that just falls in our lap.
Well, and it's interesting. We've talked about it, I think, over the course of, really the last month as we've kind of gone through the NBA playoffs and the NBA finals. And J-Dub's, mentioned it a number of times that we're now 8 straight years with different champions since the Warriors won the final 2 of their back-to-backs in 17 and 18. And you look at the teams that won it. I mean, some great moments for a lot of these cities. Toronto, who had never been there before. To be able to win a title. The Bucks, who had not won a title for 50 years. The Nuggets, who had never won a title. The Thunder, who had never won a title, and then the Knicks to come back and win their first title in 56 years. I think this and we can sit here and debate. I think this is probably the best time in the NBA right now, because you have so many cities that go into every year believing that, we've got, now that they've broken up this whole super team nonsense that we saw in the mid part of last decade, that teams have a chance to win it. A lot of teams have a chance to win it every year. I think this might be the best of the NBA that we've had in a long time.
The problem is Americans to a person, if they are neutral in a sporting event, will always cheer for the dynasty. They want to see 2 or 3 champions in a row. Greatness. Cheer for greatness. The problem with the Warriors is what? That was not organic. That was not an organic situation where that dynasty, when KD went there onto a team that had just set the record for the most wins in regular season in NBA history. So the aftermath of that, there was the whole year of, quote, unfair. Every quote you heard from the superstars of the NBA is, well, we're all just playing for second because nobody's going to beat the Warriors. And that's a really bad league to have. Doesn't matter football, baseball, basketball, NHL. Doesn't matter what sport you're talking about. If there's such dominance at the top, but I agree with you, DK. I think the storylines that you just laid out there, I mean, Knick fans are still haven't come down from that high.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's Milwaukee Bucks fans who still haven't come down from their championship 4 years ago.
I mean, all I saw last week was 10 years. 10 years last Friday when the Cavaliers won their title. We can go back that far, and I've said it before. I cried on TV that night. I mean, it's been the last 10 years of the NBA. I mean, you obviously mix in the Golden State coming back and winning those last 2 years, but it is really, we've started to see a lot of parity and a lot of great stories coming from cities that maybe have not won it in a long time. It's not just the Lakers and the Celtics and the Warriors. It's other cities now that have that
The best thing is not just the winners, DK, but the participants.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go back to Toronto's championship, it was Warriors Toronto, then it was Lakers Miami, then it was Phoenix Milwaukee, then it was Warriors Celtics, so another repeat with the Warriors there. But then it was Denver, Dallas Boston, Thunder Pacers, Knicks Spurs. Like all of the teams involved in the NBA Finals outside of 2 Miami Heat appearances and 2 Warrior appearances, have all been unique. So it's been a lot. It's the era of parity, and that's the way that they wanted it. That's the way they wrote it on the books, is that you just can't front load your superstar, supermax players on an NBA team anymore, because there's long-term repercussions for keeping that amount of salary on the books. And if you go over the second apron twice, you're really screwed. You really start losing the ability to even compete after time. So it's a big deal. The Warriors did it forever under Lakem and those guys, right? They went over the luxury taxes, what they used to call it, year after year after year, because they were happy to spend $100 million extra on top of that. I think it's given to charity or however the NBA does that.
Right.
But nowadays, DK, you just cannot string together multiple seasons. We'll see what the Cavs do, because the Cavs were the only team over the second apron during the 25-26 season.
Well, and we'll get into it in the next segment because cricket's going to be coming up here quickly. But I want to get into, because of one, we're talking about Giannis, and that was a team that looked like they might be built to win for a number of years, and obviously never even got back to the finals. And it really started. I mean, everybody kind of knew that the Toronto thing was a one-shot deal. Like, Kawhi was never going to stay there. So once he left, that they were never going to get back. And then the Lakers thing was the COVID, so that was a whole different, can of worms there. But when Milwaukee won in 21, I think there were a lot of people that thought maybe that was a team that could continue to win, especially with Mike Budenholzer there. We'll get into in the next segment just kind of maybe why that didn't happen, and was that kind of the beginning of stages of, the league kind of reinventing itself.
We don't need a segment. I'll tell you what happened. 2 years later, they blew it up to get Dame Lillard, and Dame Lillard got injured. And that never panned out. So they wanted to pair Dame Lillard, the second best perimeter scorer in the NBA, with Giannis. They really wanted to keep Giannis happy and do things there in Milwaukee. They tried. And I think injuries, Dragon Ball, is the biggest reason why after that 2021 championship, they just didn't challenge for that top spot the last 5 years.
Yep. No, it all went kind of downhill, because when you try to bring in another superstar to pair with a superstar, you have to give up a lot. And the big thing about that Bucks team is that they survived because of the depth they had at multiple positions. And when you sacrifice depth to go ahead and get a big star, sometimes you end up losing out on that depth piece. And when a star gets injured, you don't really have anyone to fall back on.
All right, Cricket joins us now. Cricket, I think we've come up with a new segment for you.
Okay.
Yesterday, I asked you a question, just a random sports question. Do you remember what it was?
No.
No, I said North Carolina or Oklahoma.
Oh.
And you picked North Carolina. They did not win last night.
Okay.
So
go
wrong.
opposite with what I say.
So I think that might be something new. Cricket makes a pick. I like this. Cricket makes a pick. So Cricket, this is your question tonight. Yes or no? Does Koa Pete get drafted in the first round?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna start writing these down, and we're gonna keep track of these and see if Cricket's guesses. We got to come up with a name for that. Cricket guesses sports,
or pick it with Cricket.
Pick it. Oh! Pick it with Cricket. I love it. That is awesome. You see, you just came up with your own segment there.
I learned that from you, because you did Cricket got tickets.
Cricket's got tickets. Pick it with Cricket.
Yeah. Or kick it with Cricket.
Make sure we get Benstown on that, J-Dub. Pick it with Cricket.
I learned that from you, the rhyme.
The
rhyme
there
is
you
there.
Go. The rhyming is the reason. I grew up in a rap era. Everybody was doing rhymes. You got to rhyme it. All right. Right now, Cricket's got quotes. That's, maybe we'll have to come up with a...
You have to work on that.
Yeah, we'll work on that one. We'll work on that one. But for right now, that's what it is. We'll get our fancy music going here, because it's 4:12. It's 4:12. Well, actually, it's 4:14 in Arizona, which means Cricket is about to lay some great stuff on you.
You make that sound so big. All right. Quote today: hold dear to your parents, for it is a scary and confusing world without them.
Okay, before we get in too far of this, I got it right yesterday, Dragon Ball. You were here. Yeah, I got Mark Twain.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, one more time.
Hold dear to your parents, for it is a scary and confusing world without them.
Hold dear to your parents, because it is a scared and confusing world without them. I have not. Dragon Ball's back. Dragon Ball.
That's Emily Dickinson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Emily Dickinson.
Yep.
Dragon Ball, you're so smart.
And not a bad one to pick a couple days following Father's Day.
Yeah, I should have done it sooner, but yeah, that's so it's true, I guess. You know.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, one more time.
Hold dear to your parents, for it is a scary and confusing world without them.
It really just depends on the parents.
That is true, too. That's absolutely 100% true.
Because
As
if you
with
have really good
all
parents,
things in
they've got you prepared for the world when they are no longer here, I think.
Yeah.
I think I would agree with that. There. So, yeah, I was at my mom's last night. She's got me prepared for whatever happens.
Hold dear.
Exactly. I try to hold her dear, for sure. She's 90 years old.
You're
She was
a
up.
good son.
She was up last. We went to an event, a Juneteenth event, last Thursday night, and she got up. They had like a little red carpet, and they had some people. People were dressed up and that kind of thing, and they had people walking the red carpet. And she got up and walked the red carpet in her fancy hat with her walker. Ooh. She was like, she had the crowd on fire.
I love that.
On Thursday night. So,
all right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Cricket. Thank you for that wisdom.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, so we'll come back tomorrow and find out if you picked right with Koa Pete being drafted in the first round tonight. We will start to find out. 5 o'clock, the NBA draft starts. Right now, Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives, home or to your favorite sporting establishment to watch the NBA draft.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions reported wreck on Orange Grove between La Cholla and La Cañada with some light slowing there. Also a crash at Sandario and Rudisill. Expect slowdowns for traffic on Miracle Mile at Flowing Wells. An extreme heat warning until 8 Thursday night. 81 the overnight low, 107 tomorrow, and 106 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio. 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Staples Easy Deal Days are here. Right now, you can score up to 50% off more than 1,000 products in-store and online. Don't miss your chance to save on tech, chairs, custom print, school supplies, and more. It all ends July 4th. Staples, that was easy.
I'm Ruben Cruz. After a car accident, people ask, what is my case worth? It depends on your injuries, the medical care you receive, and the impact on your life. At Cruz & Associates, we build strong cases and fight for full compensation. No fees unless we win. Injured, call Cruz.com.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
Advantage Air Mechanical, the team you can trust. Call 792-9400.
When it comes to the comfort and indoor air quality of your home and office, Advantage Air Mechanical has you covered. Breathing healthy air and having reliable air conditioning is important. If you or someone you know is in need of air conditioning services or a new system installation, we are here to help. Advantage Air Mechanical, 792-9400. AZROC 214570.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Arizona drivers know June is the calm before the furnace. Temperatures are rising and the intense summer heat is on its way. It's as certain as the next cracked asphalt road or suspension slaying pothole, just around the corner and coming quickly. But Arizona drivers know that Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the one stop to make sure their car, SUV, light truck, or minivan is road trip ready for this summer's torture test for tires, batteries, brakes, and cooling systems. Just about every part under maximum stress. But mention this ad during June and get Jack Furrier's road trip ready inspection at no charge with the purchase of any oil change. A $30 value for free that gives you the inspection information you need to lower your stress before heading into another summer of extreme Arizona driving. And if you already know you need tires or service, come by to the Local's Choice for the most affordable tires and rock-solid guarantees at 14 award-winning locations. Make an appointment online, call ahead, or just stop by. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Progressive presents Perfectly Bad Excuses for Missing Stuff to Spend More Time on Your Motorcycle.
Hey, Tom. Gonna miss the 5K. Gotta organize my vitamins. A, B, C. There's so many. D.
Now that was a bad excuse. If you love your vehicle this much, get customized coverage from Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Good evening, ma'am. We're the Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team, here for the overnight install of your new AC unit.
Great. Come in. We're so excited for a sleepover.
Oh, well, we're actually putting you and your family up in a hotel for the night. We work while you sleep.
Oh.
Okay, who's ready for a movie night? Popcorn or s'mores?
You know, that sounds pretty good.
No, it doesn't.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Providing overnight installs so you don't miss work or leisure time with your family. GoodfellasAC.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. D-backs getting set to play in St. Louis. They made it tight last night.
Tommy gets on this one, drives it to center. This one's on its way, and there it goes. Tommy Troy way up on the batter's eye. That's his third, and it's 3-2.
Diamondbacks Download. Baseball talk.
Yeah, that looked like that home run. I forget the name of the kid that hit that home run in the playoffs, in the World Series in like the 11th inning against the Rangers. Way up on the berm in center field did Tommy Troy take that ball. And then Tommy came up in the 9th inning with a chance to do it again and tie the game.
Blaze Jordan guards the line, backs up some at third. The pitch is swung on, popped him up. Behind home plate, off with the mask. Carrera on the track. He has it. It's a Redbird winner.
Yeah, not to be last night. 3-2 to final. The Cardinals beat the Diamondbacks to extend their losing streak now to 3 games. Afterward, Torey Lovello on the loss.
This game came down to situational hitting, in my opinion. 2-out hitting. They got a base hit with 2 outs. They situationally executed, and that led to 3 runs. We didn't, unfortunately, get the job done in one situation. We built innings, just couldn't really continue to keep the hammer down and make something happen where we scored some runs. So that's the name of the game. I think we're 2 very similar teams, play similar style of baseball. You pitch, pick up the baseball, and have timely hitting, and they outdid us today.
Yeah, well, the situational hitting has been the issue for this Diamondbacks team, especially of late.
So they've been hitting, but just not timely.
Yeah, not able to get hits with runners in scoring position. That will lose you baseball games quickly in this league. Not being able to score runners from second, not being able to score runners with third with less than 2 outs. Those types of things can kill you. But one of the positive stories, obviously, of this trip to St. Louis is it's a homecoming for Diamondbacks third baseman Nolan Arenado, who came to Arizona this year after playing for 5 seasons in St. Louis with the Cardinals. Arenado was a 3-time All-Star, won 2 Gold Gloves during his time in St. Louis between 2021 and 2025. But, the Cardinals, the Redbirds, are not a franchise that is accustomed to not making the playoffs, and they had not been to the playoffs in the last 3 years, so they shook things up, and Nolan Arenado was one of the players that they traded out after this season. So at least that's been a positive for that. So we'll hear from Nolan coming up a little bit in a moment, but I do want you to also hear from Torey Lovello on that home run that Tommy Troy hit last night.
I was surprised by how far that ball went. He went on top of the berm there. I've been coming here a long time. I haven't seen a lot of balls go up that far, but that's what he's capable of doing. He's a very dynamic player. He can beat you with the smaller part of the game. He can beat you with hitting a home run, stealing bases, playing defense. That's why he's here.
So there you go. It was an incredible blast by the youngster Tommy Troy last night. Also, the All-Star game is coming up, I believe. Is it 2 weeks, 3 weeks from 3 weeks from tonight?
6 series for most teams that are left. So at the very least, maybe 2 more weeks.
Okay. It's always on a Tuesday.
July 14th.
Yeah, so that would be 3 weeks from tonight, if my math is correct. Yes, 3 weeks from tonight. Well, I say that because Corbin Carroll is not getting a whole lot of votes right now for the All-Star game. He is 10th among outfielders right now in the early voting for the Major League Baseball All-Star game, which will be in Philadelphia. I will be in Philadelphia, but I will not be in Philadelphia for the All-Star game. And so Nolan Arenado, who is playing with Corbin Carroll for the first time, talked a little bit about what he's learned about the Diamondbacks' young star over the course of the last 4 months.
I can't say enough good things about Corbin Carroll. I mean, he's one of the top 5 player in the game in my eyes. He's unbelievable. The fact that he's not getting enough votes, I think it just shows how much people don't really know how good he is or not paying attention. But he's a guy that you come to the ballpark to watch. He could change the game in any way. I mean, doubles for everybody's triples for him. He just does things. He hits homers just as hard as anybody. I mean, he's a freak of nature, and he's one of the best players I've ever played with by far. So it's been he's going to make the All-Star team. Everyone knows that, but he definitely deserves to start.
So we'll see what happens there. Deserves to start. Will he get enough votes to start? But like you mentioned, he'll be on the All-Star team. And the good news is, we said last week, the guy that is pitching tonight is likely going to be on the All-Star team as well. Eduardo Rodriguez gets the ball tonight for the Diamondbacks, and he has been absolutely dynamite this year. 6-2 with a 2.45 earned run average. He has been the force in this rotation. 1 or no runs allowed for Eduardo in 8 of his 15 starts this season, and coming off last Wednesday's start, in which he allowed just 1 run in 7 innings, and an 8-1 win over the Angels, the 100th win of his career. And how about this? This is only he's had 250 starts, because we talked about last week. 250 starts, 100 wins. Only 2 of his 250 starts have come against the Cardinals. So it's not a team that he has faced a whole lot. Diamondbacks are back to 500, having lost 15 of their last.
That used to be so common, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't even talk about designated hitter stuff anymore, right? Because like that growing up, like you would see that all the time. DK, you would see a pitcher who could have 100 starts in Major League Baseball and never see a team.
Yep.
So let's see. First pitch is coming up here at 4:45. So 15 minutes from first pitch, it'll be Kyle Leahy on the mound tonight for the Redbirds. 5-4 with a 4.63 earned run average. Diamondbacks start the day 10.5 games behind the Dodgers. They're in third place, a game and a half behind the Padres. St. Louis is 5 out in the Central behind Milwaukee. I was looking at these standings today. I was surprised to see the Reds. They're in last place, but they're only 3 games under 500 with Arizona alum Terry Tito Francona at the helm. The bad news for the D-backs is right now they are, in terms of the wild card, because, again, this is what we're talking about. You know, you're probably not going to beat the Dodgers, but you got to at least put yourself in a position to make the wild card. Right now, they're a game and a half out of the last wild card position, but there's like 7 teams. There's like 7 teams between them and that 1.5 and that last spot, which is currently being held by the Cubs, the Padres, the Nationals, the Marlins, the Pirates, and then the Diamondbacks. So there's a whole lot of teams battling for those 3 nationally wild card spots right now.
The good news is there's like a lot of baseball.
There's still a lot of
left
baseball.
to play.
But the best part about this also, DK, the Padres and the Nationals, based on winning percentage and games back, they are actually in the wild card spot. The problem is that they are just outside. They're not games behind the Cubs. The Padres and Nationals are not games behind the Cubs. They're tied for the last spot. So just tiebreakers are setting them up to be out of the race right now. Again, the National League is an absolute buzzsaw right now, but you mentioned the Reds. Tito's going to get a little bit of help today because Ellie De La Cruz is finally coming off of the injured list after 3 weeks or so. So they'll get their star guy in that lineup back here pretty soon. So it could be interesting to see what happens with the Reds here, at least for the next week and a half, to see where Ellie De La Cruz is when he gets back into the lineup.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. It is DK on the sports tip. The NBA draft is coming up on us. The countdown clock, 28 minutes to go. Right when at the top of the 5 o'clock hour, they flashed our young man, Brayden Burries. He is the only one in the green room because Koa Pete did not get an invitation. I think what they sent, it's like 23 guys, I think, of the 30 positions get invites.
It's the saddest thing about draft night is when you see that 22nd guy. And it's like the 45th pick, and they keep flashing to him and his parents, and he's on his like 15th Diet Coke of the night. It's like, bro, stop putting the camera on the guy, please.
Exactly. So Brayden Burries is there, looking sharp too. Brayden with a black suit. He's got like a red tie, a red shirt.
Cardinal.
He's got the Cardinal on. If we head on over to our Twitter page right now, I just retweeted Wildcats 1290. I just retweeted a shot put out by Arizona basketball. He's got he opened up his jacket, and on one side he's got a red cross, and on the other side he's got the word Ohana with the middle A being a block A on the inside of his coat. So representing his school, and it looking sharp. He's not showing all of his chest like Carter Bryant did.
Yeah, man, yeah. Put a shirt on, Carter. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, with the camaraderie and the buy-in and how much they all talked about how much they love this season, DK, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if anytime we get a video clip of any of those 5 Wildcats potentially who could get drafted, that they're all representing the Block A.
We'll get into Jaden Bradley coming up, as well as Toby Awaka, who all have a chance. Anthony Dorlosor as well, having a chance to get drafted either tonight and or tomorrow night, 2 nights of the draft in Brooklyn, New York. DK on the sports tip. We'll get a break in here. We'll come back. We've got much more for you. I was talking to you about that Mercury game last night with the Fever, and there's another one coming up tomorrow night. Back-to-back games.
Isn't there a certain feisty woman who plays for the Fever who used to play for the Mercury?
There is.
Yeah,
there is. And there's a pretty feisty woman who used to play for the Fever that now plays for the Mercury. And they apparently don't like each other too much. We'll dive into that. DK on the sports tip. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. With collisions reported, working a wreck reported I-19 near Valencia, reported on the northbound side of I-19 near Valencia. Other collisions crash on Orange Grove, right between La Cholla and La Cañada. Also clearing Rudisill and Sandario. Debris reported in the roadway for I-10 eastbound near Wentworth Road. Extreme heat warning until 8 on Thursday night, 81 the overnight low, 107 tomorrow, and 104 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Brake Masters.
We're all racing to the red light, but this isn't NASCAR. Use caution. And if your vehicle needs a pit stop, just head on over to any Brake Masters stop sign. Download coupons and schedule an appointment from your smartphone.
Brake Masters. We give you an honest break.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
We throw the term GOAT around when there should only be one from each sport. Sometimes people even name their all-time GOATs, which contradicts the first word, greatest. Yesterday, we witnessed a true GOAT, Lionel Messi, become the all-time leading scorer in World Cup history with 18 goals. And with Messi, there is no debate. No back and forth with Cristiano Ronaldo. The GOAT debate in the world's game begins and ends with Messi. I'm Adam Abdallah.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. Trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Portugal was trading at 12% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $800 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know where they're at today? Check Kalshi. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. That's promo code PITCH. Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prizes, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We now join our damsel in distress tied to the railroad tracks, a victim of high tobacco prices.
Help! Somebody save me!
Never fear, my dear. Captain Tobacco is here.
Captain, high prices are coming down the track.
You'll never stop my high prices. Pardon me while I untie this fair lady.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
There, you're free.
My hero.
Drats.
You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
Now for you, high prices, I dare ya. Hooray! That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Captain, I could just kiss you.
Oh, no.
Oh, brother. Tobacco Bar, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Oh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the Neighborly Done Right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed. Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing, a neighborly company.
Life happens. Lucky for you, the new ICCU Central Plus checking account comes with benefits, including cell phone protection.
Wait, through my ICCU checking account?
That's right. along with a whole lot of other benefits you might need. Because being human is a full-time job.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Paid for by Adaptive Health.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
The Phoenix Mercury on the road in the Heartland, Indiana, for a pair of games against Caitlin Clark and the Fever. Last night started off well, didn't finish well.
10 on the shot clock now for Boston, working with Hall. Stripped by Thomas, and Thomas going the other way. Thomas with a head of steam, lays that up and in. Thomas able to drop into Linskins, and that one flips up and in. 4 seconds here for Mitchell to work with. Rises from 3. That one finally goes! Clark, even with a Yayi outstretched, able to knock that down. Clark over half to Mitchell. Mitchell attacking, lays that up and in. Back-to-back quick buckets here. Tied again at 39. Here's Clark into Billings with the finish and the foul. And the Fever will dribble this one out and come away with the 86-77 win. You see Team USA coaching staff teammates embrace there between Nate Tibbetts and Stephanie White.
Yeah, Nate Tibbetts and Stephanie White, they might have been the only ones embracing after that game last night. Mercury lose 86-77. Indiana scored 6 points. 6 points in the first quarter and won by 9.
Yeah, the splits are crazy in this game. The first and third, right?
Yeah.
So Phoenix outscored Indiana 19-6 in the first. Indiana outscored Phoenix 30-11 in the third.
Yeah. That apparently was where things fell apart in this one. Let's hear from Melissa Thomas and Valerina Ayahi.
It was our defense in the third quarter. We knew we needed to come out with a good energy. We knew that they probably weren't happy with their first half, and they threw the first punch, versus the first half we threw the first punch. So, we got to do a better job of being ready in the third quarter and sustaining for 40 minutes.
What's the message amongst the players in terms of we're throwing the first punch, we're not waiting anymore?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's the whole season. Every game, it's about us. It's about us coming out with the energy we need, attention to detail, knowing what their players want to do. We just got to all around be better. Third quarter is really when it took a turn for us, and we'll watch the video, and that's the beauty of it. We'll have another game.
Yeah, well, it really took a turn in the second quarter. They after outscoring the Fever by 13 in the first, as Jada mentioned, the Fever outscored the Mercury by 13 in the second to tie the game, and then 19 in that third quarter, the 30-11 stretch there to really take control of the game. Alyssa Thomas, you heard there, 19 points, 9 assists, but the Mercury fell to 5-13. Let's hear from head coach Nate Tibbetts.
We got off to a really slow and sloppy start to start the second. It's disappointing because we came out and played really well in the first quarter. Obviously, we were flying around. I thought we just got a little lackadaisical at times, and you can't do that on the road, especially in a tough place like this to play.
Nate, what did you see unfold there with the scuffle, the technical fouls there?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the film.
They're a hard team to defend. I mean, you did such a great job in the first quarter with them missing shots. How did they get back into it?
Yeah, I think the offensive rebounds really hurt us. It's kind of deflating when you play your butt off for a possession and give up a three. I thought even to start the third, the first possession was a really good defensive possession, and they played to the third side, and Boston hit that three. But you got to sprint back. You got to find Clark and Mitchell early in the shot clock. And, in the second and third quarter, like you mentioned, we just weren't good enough defensively. But also offensively, we're putting a lot of pressure on our defense just with, we didn't make shots tonight at the level that we needed to. I'm pretty sure we held them under their average. They're pretty high-octane offense. So, 86 doesn't feel great. Probably put them to the free throw line too many times.
Mac getting in foul trouble early, how much did that affect you in terms of having to sit her on the bench for a while?
Yeah, that hurts. I mean, Mac, for us to be good, Mac needs to be good. And, I don't think she played her best tonight. She had a couple careless turnovers, one to start the game, one to start the second. She knows that. But we need her to be really good to be good. And we got to have her on the floor.
Yeah, Natasha Mack, 4 points on 2 of 7. They played also without Monika Koa-Makane. We've talked about how important she is, but she's got a hamstring situation. Caitlin Clark, 24 points last night, 9 assists. But everybody's talking about what happened towards the end of this game, and that was a little bit of a tangling up between Caitlin Clark and Mercury star Alyssa Thomas, and it led to just a little bit more.
I understand the frustration in the technical because there's two players just battling for position. Oh, my.
And they're still going. Now it's Cunningham and Bonner. And keep in mind, Cunningham and Bonner have history as teammates. Nate Tibbetts out on the floor. Stephanie White out on the floor. And Amy Bonner is telling everybody to go to their benches as DeWanna Bonner hears it from this Fever faithful. It is easy to say there is no love lost between DeWanna Bonner and the Indiana Fever fans.
All right, so the quick backstory there. DeWanna Bonner last year got traded, I believe, at the beginning of the season or prior to the season, Indiana Fever. She wasn't real comfortable there, kind of asked out of the situation. They released her. Apparently, she never called her teammates and told them or said thanks or made any communication. She ended up back in Phoenix with obviously her wife, Alyssa Thomas, and so there's and then Sophia Cunningham came out after, who also played in Phoenix at one point, came out after the season and said, yeah, that kind of rubbed us the wrong way that she never even called anybody. So they had, I don't know if you saw the video, but they had the girl point going on last night. Each one of them was pointing the finger at not the middle finger, but just the girl point index finger at each other. It was entertaining to watch. Let me tell you that between these two teams last night. All right, let's hear from Sophie after the game on the chippiness that took place there in the fourth quarter.
It's fine. I think sometimes that's part of the game. I think we kept our heads. I think we could have stopped it a little bit sooner. But at the end of the day, we kept our heads. We finished the ball game well, and that's what we need to do moving forward.
Last year, you made a comment about.
Kidding.
Last year, you made a comment about just wanting professionalism about DeWanna and wanting a text message or something. Did you ever get an explanation after that?
It's old news. Old news, no, and we never will. And I really don't care anymore.
Could you feel the tensions? Simmering a little bit in the fourth quarter leading up to that, or was it kind of a flashpoint?
No, you know what? I think that in games, that's professional sports. Sometimes things get chippy, and that's okay. That's okay. It's okay for women to stand their ground a little bit and to have some extracurricular at times because you have to hold your ground. But we're not worried about that. Like, we need to focus on winning the ball game. We need to focus on what we can do better defensively moving forward on Wednesday, and then offensively what we can do better. And so all that is just, it's going to happen. You got to take care of it, but also you need to keep your heads and move forward.
So quick, pack it up.
Yeah, it's done. We got the dub, and who cares?
There you go. Sophie Cunningham, always entertaining. For
That's
sure.
not actually the full story. The full story is DeWanna Bonner had been a starter. She's 37 years old. She signs with the Fever. She plays 3 games. They put her on the bench, and they played the next 6 games. She played Dragon Ball 9 total games in her career for that franchise. There was off-the-court issues, according to DeWanna Bonner, that she was going through that had nothing to do. Now, understand when you got Caitlin Clark, who obviously was injured much of last season, Sophie Cunningham, also a young, feisty player. I could understand how they thought DeWanna Bonner could, the 3rd leading scorer in the history of the league, mind you. She became the 3rd leading scorer with the Indiana Fever last season. I understand all of that, but this is Andre Iguodala in Memphis. Do you know that story? Andre Iguodala got traded by the Golden State Warriors after his final time there.
Yeah.
He didn't play for Memphis, and Ja Morant and JJJ and all those guys, all they did was talk trash publicly about how Andre Iguodala didn't even want to join them. They weren't a contender. They could have used his veteran leadership in the locker room. They could have used his sage wisdom to help this young core group of 23 and under guys get some knowledge ahead of time for what they're going to need to do to make big strides in the NBA. The same thing with DeWanna Bonner. The difference is she signed a 2-year contract with them. So as far as her, DK, if she's 23 and she plays 9 games and then she's having off-the-court stuff, that's a big problem. If you're 37 years old and you've already played 16 years in the WNBA and you're the 3rd leading scorer of all time, I think there's a little bit more grace and leeway there. Certainly, DeWanna Bonner, I wasn't there for the conversations. Certainly, DeWanna Bonner could have thumbed off a text or given a group chat or even called some of the powers that be there in Indiana and said, hey, Caitlin, I really like your game. You're going to be great. I just am not feeling it here in Indiana, and I think I need to move on. It could have wrapped up better, but DK, Sophie Cunningham's talking about how it's old news. That's not how she showed her emotions on the court.
Right.
Like, it's clearly not old news for her physically. She clearly has a grudge there.
The point made it current news, the way she pointed at DeWanna last night.
Everyone's going to say it's old news, but the thing is that, no, sometimes you carry it over, and it may be old news, but when you see a face that you're familiar with, it's like, oh, now we're going to go ahead and bring that up again, huh?
Yeah. Exactly. And again, I think the way the announcer said, hey, there's a lot of frustration with the Mercury right now. 5 wins in 18 games, a team that, coming off a trip to the finals and maybe thought that they were going to be a little bit better than what they've been able to show this year. So that frustration definitely boiled over. Before we get to Dragon Ball, let's hear from Caitlin Clark on all the festivities there in the 4th quarter.
Obviously, I appreciate the refs just calling the foul so it didn't get completely out of hand, but that might have been on record the longest 4th quarter in history of the WNBA. I don't know. It feels like it's midnight right now, but just proud of our group, especially from the way we bounced back after the 1st quarter, where really we scored 6 points, but we had 3 there with like a half a second. So we figured it out and battled and played good defense on the stretch.
Yeah, under 80 points that you allowed in this game. What did you like defensively in the effort tonight?
Yeah, we just, I think we got the ball out of AT's hands. We got them into some harder shots. We contested around the rim, and then we rebounded, and then we pushed in transition. Thought we could do a little bit better jobs in our schemes and what we're trying to do scout-wise, but play them again in a day. So we'll go back to the drawing board and come up with another plan.
I was just about to ask you, things got a little heated in this game, and you've got this team again on Wednesday. What's important as you prepare for that matchup?
Just stay focused on the goal. Stay focused on the goal, and that's to win the game. Leave everything else aside and just go out there and compete.
Caitlin, thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, they're 10-7 now, are the Fever on the season. So and playing pretty well in this full season. Hoping to keep Caitlin on the court, I should say, and keep her healthy. That's the number one goal for that franchise right now, is to keep their best player healthy and on the floor. DK on the Sports Tip, if you watched the game last night, had any thoughts on it? 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. There'll be another one tomorrow. I'm sure there'll be some eyes on that game at the Gamebridge Pavilion tomorrow night. Dragon Ball is here. We are moments away. They've introduced the players at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. We are moments away from the start of the NBA draft. We'll find out, hopefully, before our show is over, where Brayden Burries at least will play his
Now,
NBA
do
ball.
bear in mind there's traditionally a 30-minute wait for the commissioner to come to the podium to announce the first pick. So even though it says 8 p.m. Eastern, the chances of the first pick happening in 5 minutes from now is zero.
All right, so we may be waiting a while then.
Pomp and circumstance, as the old phrase is.
Maybe we don't get a Brayden Burries selection here before we get out of here at 6 o'clock. Dragon Ball has everything happening in sports in Southern Arizona and around the world.
Well, we already have the first spots of the Arizona baseball season for 2027 filling out right now. They will open up their campaign for next season at the Shriners Children's College Showdown out in Texas. It will be a hotbed of competition to go and start the year off in February. Already, the Clemson Tigers, Texas Longhorns, TCU Horned Frogs, Virginia Cavaliers, as well as the now reigning college baseball champion Oklahoma Sooners are all going to be set to compete down at Globe Life Field for 3 games between February 19th through the 21st. Likelihood, though, is that the Wildcats will not be playing against their Big 12 partner in the TCU Horned Frogs. So there is a chance that the Wildcats will be playing against maybe even Oklahoma when they start their season. And a new look at the backfield for the Arizona Cardinals still has some work to sort out, including who will be the main face of the running back core that they have there going into week 1. But Arizona's first-round pick, Jeremiah Love, says that he does not worry about having to split the reps, and he even believes that keeping fresh legs is critical success for a long season.
All the pressure is not going to be on me, you know. We got guys like Marv, Trey, and we got a lot of guys in the running back room as well, so we can split some carries if need be, which – I always like, you don't need just one guy going out there and getting, 30 carries a game. We got 21 games this season potentially, so that's not going to do too good in the long run.
Again, Love is expected to go ahead and split his time with Tyler Algier, who signed with the Cardinals this offseason. He spent a couple years as running back 2 out in Atlanta, still had a 1,000-yard season his rookie campaign with the Falcons. And there will be no supplemental draft in the NFL this season, as the NFL has announced that they will not hold one after former Texas Tech quarterback Brendan Sorsby applied for the supplemental draft. Now, the NFL says that under the CBA, they have the right to decide whether or not to hold one, and by choosing not to, it makes Sorsby ineligible to play next season. But Sorsby's attorney says the decision is a violation of the CBA and the law, and they will be pursuing this immediately with the NFL Players Association.
Shocker.
And I'm Dragon Ball.
He's wrong, by the way.
He is wrong, but it's your 2020 Sports Update here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
It is over. Cats have won it.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. With had a collision reported parked near Speedway on Park Avenue to the north of Speedway Boulevard. We've got backups for traffic both directions on Miracle Mile at Flowing Wells. More backups on southbound Wilmot at 5th Street. An extreme heat warning in effect until 8 p.m. Thursday, 81 the overnight low, 107 tomorrow, and 104 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather
This report
Together.
is sponsored by Brake Masters. We're all racing to the red light, but this isn't NASCAR. Use caution. And if your vehicle needs a pit stop, just head on over to any Brake Masters stop sign. Download coupons and schedule an appointment from your smartphone.
Brake Masters. We give you an honest break.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Headed for the corner, he's in. Touchdown, Arizona. On the break, slap it home. Here comes the throw home. He slides, he's safe. The Cats are champions.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Arizona drivers know June is the calm before the furnace. Temperatures are rising and the intense summer heat is on its way. It's as certain as the next cracked asphalt road or suspension slaying pothole, just around the corner and coming quickly. But Arizona drivers know that Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the one stop to make sure their car, SUV, light truck, or minivan is road trip ready for this summer's torture test for tires, batteries, brakes, and cooling systems. Just about every part under maximum stress. But mention this ad during June and get Jack Furrier's road trip ready inspection at no charge with the purchase of any oil change. A $30 value for free that gives you the inspection information you need to lower your stress before heading into another summer of extreme Arizona driving. And if you already know you need tires or service, come by to the Locals Choice for the most affordable tires and rock solid guarantees at 14 award-winning locations. Make an appointment online, call ahead, or just stop by. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960. We're here to get you there.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill. But those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in. Cool as can be. Tap Good RX. Saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
You just testified under oath you're getting more fiber in your diet, and it was easy. Where is this additional fiber coming from?
Mira Fiber Gummies.
Objection!
It's true. Mira Fiber has 8 grams of fiber to help me get the fiber I need in a day, plus 4 B vitamins for metabolism support. All in one serving.
Overruled.
My gut rests its case.
Oh, that's my line.
Find Mirafiber today at your local retailer from the makers of Miralax. Mirafiber supports metabolism of carbs, fats, and proteins. Serving size is 4 gummies.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just...
And it echoes with the sound of what's next.
The draft is the first step to the next step, to be an all-star, then to be in the Hall of Fame.
Everything's earned, not given. I have to build my own legacy.
The wait is over. A new generation arrives. From every corner of the globe to the brightest stage in basketball, legendary careers begin tonight. Welcome to the 2026 NBA Draft. The future starts here.
Please welcome NBA Commissioner Adam.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
We are at the hour of the NBA draft in the United States. 5 Wildcats could hear their names called over the course of the next 2 nights, including their point guard.
Stops there, pumps, turns up and under to the bucket and score it. Crafty, creative, Houdini-like, as Jaden Bradley found a lay-in where there was no shot available. 30 seconds on the game clock. It's another screen from Krivas. Bradley goes for the lay-in high off the glass. It's good, and it's all Jaden Bradley in the clutch.
That one was even higher than the last one.
They're going to let it get down to about 10 here. Put the play in motion. Bradley steps around a screen. Spin move right. Now needs to get to work. Jumper, turn around, goes to the bucket, lay it up and good. Oh, what a beautiful move by Jaden Bradley. And the Cats up by 3. 16 seconds left. Arizona will not call a timeout. Bradley walks it across midcourt. 8 seconds left. 7, 6, 5. Bradley driving on Torre. Looking for the shot, drives right, hang it from there, it's good! And the Cats have won it! Jaden Bradley hangs it for 2, Cats on to the finals!
Jaden Bradley, an absolute closer, the player of the year, makes a play of the year play at the end.
Jaden Bradley, second round likely selection. That'll be tomorrow night. The clock has begun. The Washington Wizards are on the clock. They will have the first round over the overall first pick for the 7th time in their history. Jaden, most projections showing him potentially to go around the 47th pick. That's 17 in the second round. The team that has the 47th overall pick, the Phoenix Suns. And the Suns are the only team that publicly announced that they brought Jaden Bradley in for a workout. So whereas potentially the Suns could trade up into the first round, maybe to pick Koa Pete, as was reported by Jake Fisher of the Stein Report, they may also be looking at another Wildcat in Jaden Bradley tonight.
It's only been 6 years, 5 years since they haven't had a point guard.
Yep, and I have been screaming for it at the top of every mountain I can find here in Southwest Arizona to try and tell the Suns, please get a point guard. We need one so bad. I love Colin Gillespie, don't get me wrong. I love Colin, but if we can get a young point guard to learn and be a part of the system, that would be absolutely the best case scenario. I'd love for them to sit there and see if they can get Jaden Bradley at that spot.
There is a projection that has Toby Awaka potentially being taken at 50. I think most of these are from ESPN's Jeremy Wu. 50th pick for Toby Awaka. That pick belongs to the Toronto Raptors, who took another big man from Arizona back in the day in Christian Koloko. Awaka, of course, led Division I in rebounding percentage last year. Jaden Bradley, the Big 12 Player of the Year last year. Anthony Del Orso could also hear his name called in this draft tonight. Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd on the clutchness that is one Jaden Bradley.
JB's been awesome. I mean, I don't know if I've seen a guy be as consistently high level in clutch moments as he's been for an entire season. He's been great. And what's really cool about him is he's not afraid of those moments, but he's definitely not like trying to make this team about him. He's about winning 100%. And he would be fine if you told him right now, JB, you're going to go 0 for 27 if you get to play 2 games here and have 12 turnovers, but you're going to win both games, but you're going to play really bad, but you're going to win. He would 100% take it in a second because that's the kind of guy he is.
Jaden Bradley, you might say, as my great frat brother and ESPN announcer Stuart Scott once said, smooth as the other side and cool as the other side of the pillow. JB on the importance of being calm in the moment.
Me and probably Big Mo and Tobe and Deli, we've been with Coach Lloyd for the longest, so we know what he wants. So, when I want to set an example for the freshmen, when stuff gets tough and they look over, if I'm panicking, it bleeds down. So, I want to stay calm and stay composed and, just go out there and take care of business.
So and we got, again, Koa Pete, potentially first-round pick, maybe second round. Brayden Burries obviously going to go, more than likely be a lottery pick tonight. If all 4 of those players get drafted tonight, it'll be the first time since 2001 that 4 Wildcats will be selected in a single draft. That 01 draft, Richard Jefferson, Gilbert Arenas, Michael Wright, Lauren Woods.
There's a good reason for that because Lute used to leapfrog classes. So you'd have 3 freshmen, 3 sophomores, 3 juniors, 3 seniors. So you wouldn't, and people didn't leave college early. But that was a final run, right? And so Gilbert Arenas, his name wouldn't have been hotter than after that moment. We all knew Michael Wright, Lauren Woods were going to go, and Richard Jefferson is like a mass exodus, along with Jason Gardner as well.
All right, the pick is in. We are awaiting the commissioner to step out onto the podium here. Again, the Washington Wizards have the first pick. The Utah Jazz have the second pick tonight. Miss Grizzlies will pick third.
Who's it going to be, Dragon Ball?
Will pick fourth. Clippers will pick fifth.
I'm going to say they're probably going to take A.J. DeBonsa here.
I will go with A.J., or as we learned, his name is Anicet. And Anicet they've got the names on the basketballs there in front of him. Anicet, Anicet.
I will say,
I don't know if that's the correct way to pronounce it, but that's his real first name.
The big thing for me is that if a Boozer goes in the top 5, I'll be shocked. I don't think a Boozer goes with the highest number 6.
What he said was he said today in his interview, he said many years from now, people are going to look back and wonder why I wasn't the number 1 pick.
I think most of in terms of drafting, it's off the board in terms of betting, but the highest they had Brayden Burries was at number 5 at plus 700. Let's hear what the commissioner has to say.
With the first pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Washington Wizards select Anise DeBonsa Jr. from Brigham Young University.
Anise. What did I say? Anicet?
The debate.
Shows you I don't know. Where's he from?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Here.
He's from Boston.
Well, that's clearly a name from another country. I can't. Probably French. I can't.
He's from Boston.
I should be able to speak.
Is where he's from. He's from Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anicet. What did he?
There's a flag on
Anise.
There's a flag on his suit. Anise, I believe is how he pronounced it. Commissioner Silver.
All right, I'll have to.
That being said, as someone who had his name mispronounced on graduation day, I don't know if it means that's 100% accurate or not.
Was that high school or college graduation?
High school graduation.
Okay.
Luckily, it was not college.
All right. Let's get in while we wait on our next pick. Let's get in our we have a pick here. I think we have, and I'll give you some other ones as well. We have some picks from our folks, courtesy of Westwood One Sports.
Brad Evans here to help you beat the Bulls with Westwood One Sports. With Dusty May expected to be named Dallas's new head coach, one familiar player could be on the team's wish list. Michigan big Adai Mora. The Mavs need to find, like everyone else, a potential wall for Wemby. Give me Mora to the Mavs with the 9th overall pick at plus 650. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right. That's interesting, guys. Adai Mora to the Dallas Mavericks to play for his old coach. Dallas has the 9th pick. That seems to be the place where most people believe Brayden Burries will be selected. Most of the draft boards have him going at 9. Could Dustin May throw us a little bit of a curveball and take his big man?
I don't like the idea of that simply because we've seen far too many college coaches go to the pros, draft their college players to try and carry over that success, and it doesn't work out. This is not the Villanova Knicks idea here. I like May as a coach. I think he had a very great run there with Michigan. I don't like the idea of Adai May going 9th overall.
In the last 30 years, there have been 9 coaches who left college to take an NBA job. How many of those 9 coaches, DK, do you think had a winning record in the NBA?
I'll say 2.
2.
Oh.
Yeah, literally 2.
Better than I thought.
Like, we all remember Patino. We all remember, obviously, John Calipari, coached the Nets for a while, but only Brad Stevens and Billy Donovan are the only 2 guys who had winning records. Some other names, Reggie Theus, Fred Hoiberg, John Baleen, Lon Kruger, and Mike Montgomery from Stanford. You might remember coached the Warriors for a while, but none of those guys had success at the NBA level.
All right, so apparently Anise is Greek for unconquerable or invincible. So there you go. Anise.
It's also a licorice flavor as well.
There you go. All right, so we don't like that. How about this? We got another one. The Nets. Now, where are the Nets picking? The New Jersey Nets
are going to be the 6th overall pick.
6th overall pick. Brooklyn Nets. I said New Jersey. The Brooklyn Nets. Darius Acuff to the Brooklyn Nets, says Westwood 1 at plus 225.
That doesn't sound like a bad spot. That doesn't sound like a bad spot for him. And the Nets, they could literally draft anybody. It's like, okay, it's a position of need. So they need everything, and I don't think that's a bad pickup for him.
All right, and then also we had today, and we'll check we'll get these to you when we come back, but we had a parlay at plus 102 in the World Cup today, taking all these games, these three on the money line parlay, Portugal to win, England, and Croatia, because they're all big favorites. Portugal won 5-0. England did not win, so we lost on that parlay. England tied Ghana 0-0 in their contest.
Why is it always got to be Ghana?
It's always Ghana.
Always.
You know
Ghana.
that clip?
Screwing up our bets. Ghana screwing up our bets.
Here's the classic. This is from Jim Rome from way back in the day.
It's the World Cup. It's the World Cup, bro. We had a chance. We had a chance. The second year we lost to Ghana. The second year. Why do we always give up the goal in the last minute? If you don't watch soccer, this is what it means to us. This is what it means to us. We should have won this game.
Why is it always got to be Ghana?
Why is it always got to be? Why we give up a goal in the last minute?
Yeah, like 2002 and 2006, Ghana knocked America out. I think was both those back to back. So yeah, Ghana was a thorn, and apparently they're still damn good because Great Britain, UK is got some. I know Kane hasn't really been up to form, but they're always a top 10, top 15 team worldwide, and so the fact that they tied Ghana today, a bit of a surprise.
All right, we're gonna hold it here for these. The second pick of Utah is in, and then we'll go to break. The Utah Jazz have that pick. I'll be floored if they take Darren Peterson. I don't believe that's a Danny Ainge kind of guy. But we'll see. We'll see if that happens.
The most skilled player in the NBA draft is Darren Peterson, and it's not really close. Now, whether or not he's going to stay healthy and whether or not he has the cramping issues moving forward in his career is a big question mark. Whether or not he's going to give up on his team, like those are all the issues you have him with, MDK. But as far as a Kobe-like player, I mean, Darren Peterson is a bucket. If you want a facilitator, rebounder, and scorer, I think AJ's your guy. But I think if you're just looking for a guy to get you buckets, it's Peterson.
All right, let's hear the pick.
From NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
With the second pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Darren Peterson from the University of Kansas.
Maybe he is a Danny Ainge guy there. Darren Peterson going to be playing next to Lowry Markkanen and company in Salt Lake City.
Just be careful being called a Danny Ainge guy, because that also means that you're potentially on the next big trade package out of town, because Danny loves to make moves.
It is the NBA draft. The trades will happen. DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290. Okay, the top two picks, as expected, AJ Debonsa to Washington, Darren Peterson to Utah. Thoughts on that? Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collision Park near Speedway on Park Avenue to the north of Speedway Boulevard, working that reported collision. Backups for traffic both directions on Miracle Mile at Flowing Wells. Some slowing on southbound Wilmot at 5th Street. There is an extreme heat warning until 8 p.m. Thursday, 81 the overnight low, 107 tomorrow, and 104 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by CSL Plasma. Donate plasma at CSL Plasma and earn up to $200 your first week. Help save lives while earning extra money for what matters most. Visit CSLPlasma.com. Again, that's CSLPlasma.com.
Did you hear what we're talking about?
Mason Lawyer.
Coming down to Arizona, and at the end of the day, it came down to coach. He's been in my shoes before. He understands the drive and what it takes to be at the top level, and he's helping me get there.
DK on the Sports Tip, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. The WNBA is celebrating its 30th season, and on Sunday, the Liberty and Sparks met for a very special night. The two franchises squared off in Los Angeles on the same date they played the league's inaugural game, back in 1997. That first contest was won by the Liberty and featured Hall of Famers Lisa Leslie, Rebecca Lobo, and Teresa Witherspoon. They were all on hand to watch Sunday's game, which came down to the final seconds. The Sparks were down by 2 when 10-time All-Star Nneka Ogwumike hit a game-winning 3 at the buzzer to give LA the 98-97 victory.
It feels really good. I've been with the Sparks for so long. I'm so sorry. It's emotional seeing all of these legends in the building, people that didn't get paid their value, and they're still coming here and supporting us. I'm so grateful.
With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Maggie Gray on Westwood One.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
Everyone loves a backyard barbecue, but who has the time? I'm Josh Bishop, owner of Fork and Fire in Oro Valley and Catalina. My brother, best friend, and I have been cooking for one another and our neighbors for years, and we still get to live our passion every day at Fork and Fire. In Oro Valley, you'll discover bold, smoky brisket, ribs, pulled pork, and many creative dishes, paired with local craft beers on tap and specialty cocktails. Fork and Fire, your neighborhood backyard barbecue, where great food meets good times and strong community. Join us today at Fork and Fire, Oro Valley, and in Catalina.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1365. 800-822-1365. 800-822-1365.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just
can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
With the third pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Cameron Boozer from Duke University.
Cameron Boozer headed down to Beale Street to be a Memphis Grizzly. His father never played there. I'm trying to remember the Duke player that was Shane Battier. Shane Battier, though, played for a number of years.
What's the difference between Shane Battier and Carlos Boozer?
What's the difference? Yeah.
One is a bit
Shane
thicker around the waistline.
They're basically the same dude, though. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, those guys are pretty much the same guy.
Shane could probably shoot a little bit better than Carlos could.
His son can shoot a lot better than he could. Like, what we're looking at is the number 3 overall pick, who was the National Player of the Year, the Naismith Player of the Year, DK, is Koa Pete with the jump shot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be real. I mean, the biggest difference
a lot of bully
between
ball.
I mean, Boozer's biggest skill set is he's a really good with the ball in his hands from the perimeter. He can make things happen with the ball in his hands, but really willing facilitator. Obviously has the skill set of a guy whose father was a 16-year NBA vet and learned all of that from a very young age. But the separator is his ability to shoot from the outside. He's probably the best big shooter in this year's draft. So really, really solid all-around player. I don't know if his ceiling is crazy high. Like, I'm not so sure because he's not the most athletic guy. He doesn't have the crazy wingspan, but he's built for it right now. He can step in right now today and contribute. He's a 15-8 guy right now in the NBA.
We're talking obviously about the U of A players. 4 potentially could get drafted over the course of the next 2 nights. Two likely in the first round. Up the street, ASU has a former player who could potentially go. Jaden Quaintance is expected to be a late first-round pick.
Yeah, pretty much the best big defender in this year's draft.
Mm-hmm.
So for those teams out there that already have a little bit of offense on their front court, he's the guy you're looking at to solidify your defense in the front court.
Yeah, he had program record, total blocks by a freshman. But that was later broken by Masamba Diop this past season. So at least Bobby had some guys that could block some shots during his time.
All those shot blockers who spent 1 year on campus.
1 year on campus. Absolutely. 520-848-1290. So the Bulls are next on the clock. Their pick is in. This is pick number 4 in the first round. Again, the highest projected potential in terms of Brayden Burries was 5. So the Clippers and Brooklyn Nets are coming up next, although most people, at least the mock drafts believe that we would see Brendan somewhere between maybe 8 and 11. So we'll continue to kind of watch this and see where the first Wildcat falls off the board. It would be, again, the first Wildcat drafted in the first round that was recruited to Arizona by Tommy Lloyd. So kind of a big day for the head coach as he awaits to find out who his player, who he can hang his hat on as a head coach. And that's I'm sure that's something that's important to these guys to for themselves and to state their resumes to say, hey, we're a program that gets guys not only to the NBA but gets guys into the first round. So
there is no doubt. I mean, your word as a coach is how well you do wins and losses during the regular season, and the number of guys you can point to say, this was a 3-star guy that was with us for a couple of years, and look at him now. I will say this, though, DK. He was the head recruiter in Spokane.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Kelly Olynyk, Domantas Sabonis, Nigel Williams-Goss, Zach Collins, Rui Hachimura, Brandon Clark are all guys. Jalen Suggs was like the number 2 overall pick, right, from the Zags. So although as a head coach, the last couple of years there hasn't been a lot of guys coming out of Arizona in that first round, he has seen a ton of guys he recruited personally and was the lead recruiter on make it to the league. And that's a part of his resume too, DK. So the guys who have come here, especially from Europe, a lot of it has to do with that.
All right, let's hear the commissioner.
In the 2026 NBA draft, the Chicago Bulls select Caleb Wilson from the University of North Carolina.
Yeah, I don't think none of those 4 picks are surprising. We all knew, depending on what the number 1 or number 2 pick was going to be, we knew Boozer was going to be 4th and Wilson was going to be our 3rd and 4th.
Yeah. Caleb Wilson goes to the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls trying to find their way back into the playoff conversation. There have been some rough years. Obviously, a few years ago, they took 4 years ago now, they took Dalen Terry in the first round out of the University of Arizona. However, he never really got into the rotation with the Bulls and was dealt to the Philadelphia 76ers. So we'll kind of begin to identify what his future holds in the National Basketball Association as we move forward. Another guy that we could see picked tonight, or maybe not tonight, but tomorrow night from the University of Arizona is one Toby Awaka.
Pete dribbles to the right elbow, goes right into Mara. Pump fake, jump shot over it, missed no good, but the follow good by Toby Awaka.
Right, Johnny on the spot, just as you would expect. Offensive putback for the Cats.
Pete looking to drive, gets to the free throw line, throw it inside Awaka, underneath. Pump fake goes up and rolls it in. That's just all strength for Toby Awaka. Off to Pete, back to Del Orso, fires a 3, rims out no good, rebound to Awaka, and he slams it home.
Toby Awaka, the number 1 offensive rebounder in the nation, goes up and grabs another one with a one-handed hammer.
Toby Awaka, obviously 2-year Arizona Wildcat after transferring here from the University of Tennessee, a fan favorite here. I'm sure he'll be a fan favorite wherever he goes if he gets an opportunity to play in this league. Tommy Lloyd on 2 years of Toby Awaka.
I think people just respect the effort he plays with and the physicality he plays with. I think it really stands out, and I think people can kind of identify. They see that blue collar approach he has to the game, and I think that's something we all respect. And I've sung Toby's praises 1,000 times, and I do it 1,000 times again. I mean, he's an amazing individual, high character, about all the right things, and I'm just really thankful, that we got the opportunity to coach him, and thankful that his talent and perseverance and work ethic really propelled us to be able to get to a Final Four.
Wonder what book Toby is reading on the eve of a potential selection into the National Basketball Association. Power. That's the Kareem book?
Kareem, the Lou Alcindor autobiography.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no. Yeah, you just noticed the kid pictures. Okay, listeners. So every draft pick goes in the green room and gets interviewed with their family instantly, and there's a picture of them as a toddler on the screen behind them.
So there was that, and those are always embarrassing. But the thing that was making me kind of like cringe a little bit is somebody's on the camera that walks right into the hard cam, and immediately my thought process was, oh man, DK, if we were working still over the TV station, I'd be getting yelled at in my ear right now if I was on that other camera. Holy smokes! Yeah. But hey, look, the young pictures of the kids of them. The pictures of them as kids are always a great thing to see, especially what they just showed. All the Boozer kids were all wearing Chicago Bulls jerseys, and none of them get picked by the Bulls. I think that's a great sign. That's a great kind of humorous moment looking back on it. But this is not a bad pick for the Bulls. They desperately you mentioned Dalen Terry not really making it out there, DK, because of just the log jam they had at guard for so many years. I'm hoping that they're starting to get away from that and start to build a roster with positions in mind. I know that we're in an era where positionless basketball is the phrase, but they were way too guard heavy the past couple of years.
Crowd packed at the Clippers watch party there. Man, all right, there we go. We'll see who the Clippers
Do you know Carlos Boozer's backstory? He was born in Germany.
Yeah.
That's right, yep.
And played high school ball in Alaska. right? So, like, his kids, the twins are born and raised in Miami, right? Because, like, that's where he settled down. But we all remember the stints, Cleveland, Chicago, and all of that. But his story alone, born in Germany, Juneau, Alaska.
A lot of moving around. Then he was a big a big Duke star there for a long time.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Clippers are obviously on the clock. They listing, obviously, Benedict Mathen as one of their free agents. So we'll kind of see where they go with this pick.
Yeah,
the pick is in, so we will find out here momentarily.
A lot of flux, because we don't know if Kawhi is going to be there next year. Ben Mathurin, we know we've talked about it in a couple of weeks, is up for a renegotiation, so they can match the salary. Yeah, of course, Bradley Beal if he can stay on the court. But yeah, the Clippers have a lot of issues going on right now, but there's a lot of great guards. Darius Acuff, in particular, is a guy I'm looking at.
All right, well, we have Darius going to the Nets with the next pick to try to win some money in Brooklyn. But let's see if the Clippers take the guard out of Arkansas here in this situation. Keaton Wagler getting a lot of face time here as well, the fabulous guard out of Illinois who helped them get to the Final Four as well. So we will see if he potentially is the selection here at number 5. For the Clippers. After the Clippers pick, again, it'll be the Brooklyn Nets, the Sacramento Kings, the Atlanta Hawks, Dallas Mavericks, and Milwaukee Bucks to round out the top 10 in the first round of this draft. Let's hear from the commissioner one more time as the Clippers make their pick.
With the 5th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the LA Clippers select Keaton Wagler from the University of Illinois.
There you go. Keaton Wagler out of Illinois by way of Kansas. Grew up in Kansas is the pick at number 5 to the Los Angeles Clippers. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We have one more segment to go. Let's hear quickly before we go to break, Toby Awaka on what he brings to a team.
Honestly, it's just whatever I can do to help the team win at the end of the day. If it's scoring 15. If it's getting 15 rebounds, so be it. 5 blocks, whatever. Another day it might be blocks. Another day it might be points. So, any way I can affect the team to, help put us in the win category, I'm going to do it.
There you go. Now, a lot of the coaches are there. I've seen John Calipari. I believe that was the coach from Illinois that would just hug Keaton Wagler. I don't know if Tommy Lloyd is in the building, though. We've not really gotten a clear shot of everybody that's at Brayden Burries' table. But there are several of the college coaches that are there tonight. Let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll have picks 6 and 7 likely, maybe even 8. Potentially we could get to 9 and see if the Mavericks take Brayden Burries. DK on the Sports Tip, 520-848-1290. One final chance for you to get in as well. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. With a collision that occurred Park Avenue near Speedway on Park Avenue to the north of Speedway. Some usual slowing for traffic on Alvernon at Grant Road. Busy on Speedway westbound at Craycroft. Southbound Wilmot slowing at 5th Street. Backups at Speedway and Cold Road, southbound and eastbound. An extreme heat warning until 8 p.m. Thursday, 81 the overnight low, 107 tomorrow, and 104 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio. 1290 traffic and weather
This
together.
report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Bright, spicy, zesty, impossible to ignore. It brings main character energy to every bite. Not just a sauce, it's a star. Only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
Hey, it's DK on the Sports Tip. Don't miss a minute of the best Arizona Wildcats coverage in town. Tell your Alexa device to play Wildcats Radio 1290. This is your home of Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store at metalsupermarkets.com. The Miami Heat have traded for Giannis Antetokounmpo. We knew Giannis would be traded before tonight's NBA draft, and the Heat stepped up to pull off the deal. Giannis and Bam Adebayo together is a great start, but the Heat will need more in the backcourt to actually compete. I'm Chris Fleck.
There's enough needless nonsense in the world already. Your phone plan shouldn't add to it. Verizon's new Simplicity plan cuts down on the nonsense in your life. Now there's just one plan, one price, $30 a line per month, even for a single line. And everyone gets our best 5G network. It's a phone plan designed to do exactly what a phone plan is supposed to do. Isn't that a lot simpler? Switch today at Verizon.com or at your nearest store. For new customers, $30 per line includes autopay and switch discount. Additional taxes, fees, and terms apply. Unlimited data is restricted to on-device smartphone usage. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. Trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Portugal was trading at 12% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $800 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know where they're at today? Check Kalshi. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. That's promo code PITCH. Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We now join our damsel in distress tied to the railroad tracks, a victim of high tobacco prices.
Help! Somebody save me!
Never fear, my dear. Captain Tobacco is here.
Captain, high prices are coming down the track.
You'll never stop my high prices. Pardon me while I untie this fair lady.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
There, you're free.
My hero.
Drats.
You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
Now for you, high prices, I dare ya.
Hooray!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Captain, I could just kiss you.
Oh, no.
Oh, brother. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive, and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money. Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away. Albert can get me up to $10,000? Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run. I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money, so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000. Use code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000.
Listing enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Paid for by Adaptive Health.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
With the 6th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Brooklyn Nets select Michael Brown Jr. from the University of Louisville.
Miguel Brown Jr. goes to the Nets, and not Darius Acuff Jr. So we didn't win on that plus 225 bet from the Westwood One Bet MGM network. The Sacramento Kings are on the clock right now, and their pick is in. They've got the 7th pick, so we will be seeing what they do here after they interview the Brown family in the interview room that's got cameras flying everywhere and shadows on the wall, and it's like a ghost, like a haunted house in there or something.
Those are AI shadows.
AI shadows.
You laugh, but he's probably not wrong. There's probably a lot of those in there because it's all artificially made and everything else like that. Before long, DK, these will be in green rooms rather than like an actual set. And I don't mean green room as in like where the players sit. It'll be a green screen like in Star Wars.
This is pick number 7 here. We've got 7, 8, and 9 coming up, so we should hopefully get a chance to maybe get Brayden Burries selected before we get off the air.
I don't know if I ever answered your Dusty May question.
Okay.
Ade Mara, the issue is he's a little slow-footed for today's NBA. So as far as a lob threat is really what they need. You want to put somebody with Cooper Flag, you put what they had with Luka Doncic 3 years ago when they made the finals, right? 2 lob threats at 7-footers. So Ade Mara, I mean, you may pick the guy who took you to win a championship, one of the guys who are responsible for winning a championship. But if you talk to a Michigan fans, DK, Ade Mara had his best game of his life versus Arizona. He doesn't look like that on an average day.
Basis.
So, but who would know better than his college coach? I just think the modern NBA, I mean, the other guys you're looking at is Zach Edey. Similar size, a little bit taller, a little bit bigger, but those guys who really command attention on the block as opposed to guys who stretch the floor and are lob threats on that pick and roll, which is every single set these days is a spicy ball handler with a lob threat on the pick and roll. That's how the NBA works these days.
Michael Brown doesn't look real happy. I don't know if he's just like intently, listening to his dad talk, or if he's not real happy.
DK,
that
he's getting
going
ready
to
to start the beginning of his career in Brooklyn, New York. It's
well, not to mention they got pictures of boogers come out of his nose when he's 2 years old behind him on the screen. So it's like it's all around an embarrassing experience.
Not only do they have the videos on there, but they also have like framed pictures in the background of the kids as well. So it's different. I don't know. I've never seen the NBA do it this way before. ESPN do it this way, but it is kind of cool.
Looks
to
like
have
the Kings are wasting
the entire family
no time by
there. All right, the pick is in for the Sacramento Kings. Here comes the commissioner.
With the 7th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Darius Acuff Jr. from the University of Arkansas.
All right, so Darius Acuff Jr. Jay Billis, I believe, had Brayden Burries as the best available player currently on the board, but Darius Acuff Jr. goes number 7 to the Sacramento
Monster,
Kings.
man. Darius Acuff is a can't-miss guy.
No,
I mean, as long as he doesn't get super selfish at the next level, Dragon Ball, I mean, if he continues to move the ball around and trust his teammates, he is just a straight blur, and he's a bucket. He can score from all 3 levels. Maybe the best athlete at guard in this draft. So, yeah, I have no doubt Darius Acuff Jr. is going to be great.
Yeah, easily the best athlete among the guards in the draft. Now, the big question is that he got drafted by the Kings, which has been notoriously well known as a franchise that either misses on draft picks or gives up on draft picks a bit too soon.
Well, their recent history is drafting all-star level point guards
and then
not holding on to them. That would be De'Aaron Fox and
Right.
Tyrese Halliburton, both guys who were once on the Kings not too long ago. 7 years ago, they were both on that team.
And
There's
then
Coach
you go
Cal.
and then
Coach
you
Cal
look
in the
at other
house
guys
tonight.
that they brought in, and Davion Mitchell and Keegan Murray, who have kind of been those like fringe, like, are they actually going to be in the NBA for a long time or not kind of guys. So I think that Acuff's got just enough in him to go ahead and be a star player. But what the Kings choose to do to build around a guy like him, there's a lot you can do. It's just going to be a matter of how they choose to do that.
How many years has it been since they lit the beam over there? It's been a minute, right?
It feels longer than 2 years.
Yeah.
It feels longer than 2 years, but I think, just being a Sacramento sports fan.
All right, I think we're going to run out of time on Dallas, but before we get out, we got to get our Westwood One, or Casino del Sol, I should say, replay in for today.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, another day at the World Cup, another dramatic performance for one of football's biggest stars.
Neto full of speed out there on that side. Off goes Cancelo, delivering the cross! Ronaldo! Just look at his face. Relief, aggression, delight. Shoo! CR7 lights up Houston. He's off and running in the 2020 Cup finals. And that's exactly what Portugal needed.
And he's off and running, Fletch. Brilliant from Cancelo. We said get him some service and he'll score. He's in the exact position. That's not an easy finish. Bouncing up on the volley. Absolute brilliant take.
Otto Vega, now there's space. Bruno Fernandes. Neto sprinting down the right. Ronaldo through the middle. It's Cristiano Ronaldo for Portugal. It's 3-0. And Ronaldo strikes again. It's Cristiano Ronaldo's day in Houston. 2 goals, and this one outstandingly finished.
Today's Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
Ronaldo becoming the first player with goals in 6 editions of the World Cup. He eclipsed Eusebio as Portugal's all-time World Cup goals leader with 10. And at 41, he's the second oldest goal scorer in World Cup history behind Cameroon's Roger Milla, who had 42 who was 42 years old.
If he had scored 42 goals in one World Cup, that would have been the greatest run ever.
So Cristiano Ronaldo has 9 in 6 World Cups. He's played 27 matches. Messi just got his 18th. He's played in 26. Remember Erling Haaland I told you about a couple days ago?
Yeah.
4 in 2 games. 2 games. He's played 2 World Cup games in his life. He's got 4 goals.
And they're on a collision course, to say the least, because he is coming. He is a
That
freight
guy
train.
is such a monster, dude. Like, just the skill and the size and just everything about his presence. Like, it's hard to imagine. I don't think I can ever remember somebody like that. Cristiano Ronaldo in the box, amazing. Really good head, really good with his head, really good with timing those set pieces, especially corners and whatever. But as far as like a dude who could finish with both feet, he's every bit of 6'3", 6'4". Erling Haaland is a nightmare in the box. There's nothing you can do. If he touches the ball in there, it's a goal.
Yep. And no one's big enough to get him out of his spot.
5-0 was the final today for Portugal over Uzbekistan. So there you go. All right, Atlanta's pick is in. They're in a break here, so we probably are not going to get that right away, but hopefully we will get at least Atlanta's pick before we get out of here in about 2 minutes and 20 seconds or so. I do want you to let's just hear real quick from Tommy Lloyd. One other Wildcat has a chance to potentially get drafted, and that would be Anthony Del Orso. Fringe chance, but Tommy on a role that Delhi might be able to play.
He's got that sniper mentality, and I was kind of feeling like maybe we weren't using him enough that last game, but just maybe it's kind of how the game is going out. But when we put him in that stretch in the second half, I mean, he made that 3, and I think he had another 3 right in front of our bench that I felt like he could have made. But yeah, I mean, it's really important to have a guy that has that skill set and that confidence and belief in himself to kind of come in maybe in certain pinch hitting roles and be able to deliver.
All right. Well, I mean, again, that's what he kind of came here to do. We saw him maybe get to the basket a little bit more, but ultimately, Anthony Del Orso is a shooter, and he's going to have to be able to shoot, like you guys have said.
Delhi is going to play 15 years professionally.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the NBA
wherever that
or
is,
Europe,
he's going to play 15 years professionally, just for the record.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
So that's what we've got over the course of the next 2 nights. Round number 1 tonight, round number 2 coming up tomorrow night, and we'll keep an eye on all of your Wildcats. We've got about a minute left here. We'll see maybe if we get the pick from Atlanta. Again, Brayden Burries expected to go 9th But potentially maybe Atlanta could be a fit for the Wildcat. Wildcats looking to have 2 first-round picks for the first time since 2022 when it was Benedict Mathurin and Dalen Terry right after Tommy Lloyd's first season here. We'll have a full show tomorrow. It'll be my last show of the week, and then I'm going to be out for about a week and a half, heading back east on some family business. But J-Dub and Dragon Ball will have the show for you Thursday and Friday, and then we'll all be off next week from the air. Thanks to Cricket. Thanks to J.W. Madden. Thanks to David Dragon Ball Amata. My name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for you listening. Let's hear one final pick from Atlanta and see you tomorrow.
With the 8th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Kingston Flemings from the University of Houston.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Collisions that are reported Irvington to the west of Mission at Irvington and San Joaquin. We've got another wreck that occurred Park Avenue near Speedway on Park, north of Speedway, and a crash at Country Club and Elm. And slowing westbound Speedway at Main Avenue and westbound Miracle Mile at Flowing Wells. And that's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's Luxe Boxes. Choose the $5, $7, or $9 box. Now with new Fajita Street Chalupas. Limited time at participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary. Freezes and specialty drinks not included. Tax extra.
Nobody covers your cats like we do.
Headed for the corner, he's in. Touchdown, Arizona. On the break, slide it home. Here comes the throw home. He slides, he's safe. The Cats are champions.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
From work to errands to family life, your car takes a beating. At Recon Auto Detailing, we don't just protect it, we maintain it.
They installed my ceramic coating in shop, and now their mobile team keeps it looking brand new, right in my driveway.
Ceramic coatings, PPF, tint, all installed professionally at Recon Auto Detailing. And with our mobile detailing, we keep that fresh, protected look mile after mile. One-stop shop, zero hassle, that's Recon Auto Detailing, Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
Looking for top-notch lumber and framing? Johnson Manley Lumber has been your trusted expert since 1970, specializing in both residential and commercial projects. Our experienced teams, cutting-edge technology, and reliable supply chain ensure your framing is on time and on budget every time. We're proud to be employee-owned and community-rooted in Tucson. Learn more at johnsonmanley.net. Proud supporter of the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Go Wildcats.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Thana Ogden Nation.
Red Wing Shoes and Boots, purpose-built footwear for work done right the first time. Come visit our Oracle and Auto Mall and Broadway and Alvernon locations. Ask about the ultimate fit experience. Red Wing, get the right boot right here, as tough as the people who wear them.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Tune to DK on the Sports Tip weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
The day shuts down. The games light up. This is BetMGM Tonight on Westwood One Sports.
Kay Constable here with you on BetMGM Tonight. NBA draft is rolling on. Dallas Mavericks are on the clock, and according to the TV in front of me, the pick is in. So we are just waiting to see who they select with their new head coach. Ooh, interesting. Dusty May. And they take a former player of Dusty May. It is not a Daimara like Brad thought it was going to be. A lot of people thought it was going to be. Instead is Morez Johnson Jr., the forward out of Michigan. He goes and reunites with his former head coach, and the smile on Dusty May's face right now, pretty proud. I think he's there as as his former head coach and not necessarily his new head coach, cheering him on and showing him some love there. Morez Johnson going to Dallas at number 9 and playing under his head coach that he just won a national championship, Dusty May. We're trying to get Pete Futek on the phone here. He's going to talk to us. We're going to switch gears and talk about the Brendan Sorsby situation and what's going on. Pete Futek, the publisher of collegefootballnews.com, a absolutely encyclopedia of college football knowledge. So as we wait to get him on the line, continue on with some NBA draft stuff. I mean, this pick by Dallas for Morez Johnson, a Big Ten defensive team. You're getting someone who can be one of your defensive anchors here. You pair him alongside Cooper Flagg. You have a very young core now that you can build around. 6'9", almost 7 feet, 250. I mean, he has size, he has length, he has the athletic ability to play multiple positions for the Dallas Mavericks, and that's something that they need going forward because Dallas is with Jason